see if any people come in. So I'll give it a few minutes. While I'm just getting ready. Actually, I'll go and wash my hands because I've just got, I can never say it, that I never can say. I've just been burning it and it's all over my hands, so I'm just going to wash that off and then I'll come back. Just to say, Jack's on the floor in there. I just walked in and he's walking around. Oh, I just had to tell my fella that Jack, one of the lovebirds, is walking around on the floor. Just ignore me washing, but you know, washing out on a nice day. Yeah, I'm just going to wait a few minutes. I can see two people. I'm just going to wait a few minutes and just collect myself. I've got this notebook and I've wrote a few bullet points because I want to talk about most things on here, and if I don't, I'll probably forget. And I don't just want to talk about one thing, so I'm going to try and go through them, sort of. They don't have to be in order, and I'll probably go off on a tangent like I do, but that's okay. But why I'm waiting to get into the chat of the cosmic, why I'm a cosmic astronaut, my helmet is over there in the corner, is yesterday, and most of you were probably doing the same thing, which was, if you've got a garden, you may have been out in the garden, or you might have been out in the park or something. Oh, and happy Mother's Day in the UK, or anyone else that shares the same Mother's Day as us in the UK, which is today. I keep forgetting. Not that I've got a Finn today, but I did receive some flowers off Finn. I got these. They're very nice. But I will see him tomorrow. So happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, and also happy Mother's Day to Gaia. She is our big mother, Earth Mother, so happy Mother's Day to her as well. And we had some friends round, that's why I didn't come on, because we ended up just staying out, having a good time in the garden, having a couple of drinks, having chats like you do, enjoying the garden. I was showing some girls that had come round for a few hours some of the artwork I did, because one of them was, Mum is an artist, and she sells her art in a place in a mill, and funny enough, my dad used to have a place in that mill as well, where he used to sell his paintings, because we do come from quite a creative family, and creating is what I have the biggest confliction with sometimes, of just making everything and then doing this and doing that. But I'm a Piscean, so yeah. And she was like, oh, she's putting this thing together where she wants like people who hand make things, like an artisan, what do you call it, an artisan market, getting people together. There's going to be a meeting about it. She said you should come, because I was showing her many of the things that I make. So she was like, oh my god, yeah, they'd love it, blah 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 blah. And then it got me into thinking into other realms again. I thought, oh my god, the universe is talking to me about my stuff that needs to go out, but I'm not going to talk on that yet, because that's for me to know and you maybe to find out in the future. But I was showing some of my pictures I did not long ago, which was one of these that was not really finished off. I was showing them, well, it all started out from something else actually. If you dare say hi, because I can see people are there. This one, but it's not finished. It's like a mushroom fairy. This little sort of witchy girl. We like the witches. We like the witches for the light. It actually reminds me of my niece. And then we have this little orb being and this sort of earthly fairy elemental creature, which isn't finished off, but it's there. And then we have this fairy that I did that isn't finished off because I want to do something with the wings, but she was done in pen and black ink, and I absolutely love this picture. I don't know if it's her eyes, all in the eyes. The look that she's giving to me is a very strong, like, no bullshit sort of saying on her face, like, we see, we know, you know, we're not getting involved with that shit, and that's a lot that I'll be talking about today. Amazing, sweetheart. Thank you, Cassandra's Life in, is it Alba Crazy? I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't know what that means, the person at the bottom. So yeah, the fairy. There might be a couple of new people here. I don't know if they're on other channels, from other channels, or I've just seen somebody going live and I've decided to come in. But I will be talking about my YouTube channel from the beginning for the people who may be new. I haven't been here in forever. Finally caught alive. Oh yeah, I recognise your picture, I think. So yeah, that's all right. Yes, you said it right. Oh, okay. And Renee's in as well. So I'm still waiting for a few people to come in. There's 5 people in. People might be doing stuff because people are doing a lot in the garden and stuff. But I just wanted to come and get this off my chest and have a chat because I'm in my element when I'm chatting. I love chatting. Oh, and also my... Oh, sorry, it's because I know nothing about crypto coin. My boyfriend sort of does, but I'm not. But there's a lot I hear about that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you. Hi Ricardo. So and the giraffe drawing that I did, which stands for balance. Now when spirit speaks through a lot of different things, and I'll be talking about that in a minute. Remember, this will be all over the place. And I'm not looking at my notes, and that's why it will be all over the place. So that was the original. Hi Rachel, nice to see you. The original giraffe. This is pencil, pen, gold paint, and charcoal. Yeah. Yeah, and the giraffe stands for balance, which we all need a lot of balance in our life. So if you're a moderator, please look out for bots and trolls. Just chuck them out because it doesn't bother me. A lot of people get offended. I'm not going into the chat yet. A lot of people get offended when people get chucked out or they get chucked out. If you're coming to disrupt or trying to mess up the chat, you will be chucked out. If you get chucked out by accident and you come back in and you're okay, that's fine. But I don't sit with all the you have to let everybody in. If you're there to disrupt, you will be chucked out because you have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries. Thank you, Renee. I'm always on it, Janine. Yeah, good. Just in case, but I have smudged and I've done the heart chakra bowl, which I will be giving you after. And I've got my charms in. It's not my fault. The dark's attracted to the light. That's all I can say. So yesterday, yeah, I spent time with friends. That's what I was saying. So they were like, your stuff is amazing, you know. I've got some of my hair accessories in today, blue. We'll be going into the colour blue. I don't know what this looks like because it's quite light in here. I have got a blue top on today. Yesterday I was cleansing my crystals, not all of them because I realised I had some more over there. Hi Dobsy, my crystals in this glass crystal bowl or crystal, I don't know if it's glass or crystal, I don't know. It was one of my nana's and the actual star on it is amazing as well because it reminds me of chakras. But it was my nana's who I was very close to, so I put these out in the sunshine yesterday to cleanse. And then I realised I've not cleansed this for ages. This used to be on my front door inside, the evil eye. But I may put it up in this room actually. And I think this was my nana's, so I like it, and it's glass. It wards off all the evil spirits, people looking at the jealousy and everything. So, you know, I've got my pendulums. I haven't used my pendulums for ages, but I have got 2. I think I might have 3. I'm not actually sure. There's 2 in a bowl, and they're both crystals. Maybe I will use them at some point and show you, but I got all my crystals are in there, and there's some behind me. And I did get a beautiful moon shelf off my fella for my birthday, which is on the wall, which I don't know if you can see it. That is the moon shelf. It wasn't a crescent moon, but it's like a sort of full moon one, and I put my crystals on there. So I've took them all off because I wanted to cleanse them, because sometimes we forget to cleanse, you know, and I'm thinking, oh God, yeah, I haven't cleansed them for ages. So I went to do that. Also, I'm just going to eat a grape. Also, because I'm just saying she wants to collect crystals. My biggest advice with crystals is, out walking at the moment, oh good Dob, so you can listen in, is you'll see the pretty ones, the beautiful ones, and you'll might go for them, but the best is to resonate. If you see something you don't resonate, even if you think, God, that isn't the normal colour that I'd go for, or I don't specifically see it as like the most beautiful one, it's what you resonate with. You may need the energy or what that stone, that energy brings. Like I've got I brought myself 2 new rings. I was a bit like, oh my God, this one's really weird, but now I like it, because this one is not that new and it's an amethyst one. And then I was after like a big moonstone ring. I love moonstone, rainbow moonstone. These have got moonstone rings on. These are the earrings that I make that will be going up again soon. These are the moth moon earrings with moonstone crystals on the bottom. I love these. And then I got this star and moon silver ring. I'm not swearing, it's just on that finger. Good though. And then I got this rainbow moonstone ring, but what I found really weird with this one is, I didn't look at the description. It's higher on one side and lower on the other. It's actually raw, so it's not flat and it's not perfect, but nobody is. But it actually catches the light brilliantly with the rainbow, and you probably can't see it on here. And the best form is the rawest form. It's not that they don't work when they're polished, we like pretty ones, but the rawest form is the raw, like when we're raw, the realest rawest form. So yeah, it is a bit lopsided in a sense, but I quite like it because it's different. But I've put yeah, I thought it was bigger than it was, and I am going to, before summer, get a bigger one. I want a quite large one. I've really got to work my measurements out, because I always think it's a big massive one and it never is, but it's still quite cute. I don't know if you can see the rainbow effect in it, but I like to change my rings up. I do like my jewellery. But yeah, so going back to the friends that came round, you need to look up meaning. I'm trying to, yeah, you can look up the meanings. I love Moonstone. It's to do with intuition. It's to do with a lot of things. I have my crystal books and stuff like that when you need to go back to references, but not that I'm talking about that today. So yeah, but when you resonate with a stone and you don't know why, then you look up the meaning, and then sometimes you're like, oh my God, I really needed that. It's because your higher self already knew you needed that. Yeah. So, and this is quartz, quartz crystal necklace. I like to change my jewellery up now and again. I have rings that I've had off friends and they mean something, and I used to wear them all the time because I never take my rings off, I sleep in them and everything. But I was getting a little bit bored, and I thought I need to change it up, you know, because the change that's coming, you need to change things up all the time. You know, when we go into a new cycle of a year, we can change things up. That's why I've changed my hair so many times. I really do miss my dreadlocks, but I don't think I'll be getting them again, because as much as they're sort of low maintenance, they're not low maintenance in a sense. And yeah, I mean, you never know, never say never, but I'm quite looking forward to the process of my silver hair coming in, which it is now. That's what I'm going to try and do. Doesn't mean that in 2 years maybe I might have dyed it, because there's a lot of people on the YouTube have a problem with people, it's going off subject again, in the so-called spiritual community. I don't know what the spiritual community is. I never got asked to come in a spiritual community. I don't need to be in a spiritual community. I'm not in a spiritual community as a sense, because I do my own YouTube channel. And you don't have to be asked to come into a spiritual community, and the spiritual so-called community is very, what's the word, it's very big as in different beliefs and stuff. It's not just one belief. I think people get like you have to be into one thing, like you can't wear nail varnish, you can't have your hair a certain way, be damned if you wear jewellery or you have money or something like that. No, that isn't spiritual. We live in a physical plane. We live in a material plane. Yes, you are allowed material things, and it actually came up in the cards, which I'll read these out in a minute before I start the cosmic chat, when I've got all this blubber out the way. And I'm going to pull some cards after, because it just amazes me how strange people are, mainly because it's normally when they don't have. And I have said before, when people scream about not having money and they project on people how bad it is if they have money or they're doing something that's bringing money in, it's mainly because they're lacking in that area, if you get what I'm saying. So they'll scream at everyone else who has it, but they're screaming about it because really they need it. They want it to have certain things. That's not how it works on this plane. In this plane, it's material, it is physical, and yes, we do have to pay bills and do certain things, and that's why we have jobs at the minute. If that ever changes, or it becomes less of whatever, so be it. But at the moment, how it's been for quite some time, yes, you do need certain things in the physical realm, this material realm. It's just that we go into greed, and it's been a throwaway society. Most of us know that, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's like big celebrities who have millions of pounds, and they go on, what is it, that show, Cribs or whatever, and they're showing the big house that they never probably use. They've got about 6 cars. Do they drive all of the 6 cars? Now that's wasted, because they don't drive all of the 6 cars. They don't need 6 cars. It's just all showing off and everything. But saying that again, you can still be somebody who is a millionaire or whatever, be a good person, have material things, because you made yourself successful, and you're allowed to have the things that you want in that sense as well. So there's no, do you know what I mean? It's bonkers. You can't wear your hair a certain way. No, I've had it before. I've had people screaming out about certain nail polish I was using, my hair, you know, I wear makeup, and this is where it goes. We'll stop right there, because I'll just go back to the, I'll come back to this, back to the friends. So the friends that came in the garden, this is what I'm like, Piscean. Yeah, they were basically just talking about my artwork and this, that and other, is that you've got so much to give and you're so creative and you need to get it out there and this, that and the other. And it was just a beautiful day, and I got a knock on the head by the universe yesterday with something to do with my creativity, which I'm not speaking about yet. I think you'll see it evolve again. This is all about evolving. We're changing all the time. So it was lovely, because I got my crystal bowl out. I said, lie down on the ground, and I give them some sound healing. And we had my chimes out, we had my crystal bowl out, which I'm going to do after. And they loved it, and they were just like, oh, wow. They got a free scrunchie off me. It was a multicoloured one, which I'll show you actually. It was this one. I don't know if you can see, it's multicoloured, but it was what do you call it? The first ones that I made, I'd like to see what they'd look like. So they got free ones of them, which they loved. Because yeah, I just want to say, there's people out there on YouTube and they know who they are, and you've seen me talk about these people that come with a jealous streak in them. When I talk about things, it's not because I'm trying to get at somebody or anything like that. It's because it's an experience I'm having. The difference between talking about something that you're having an experience with, or about, or observing that experience, is not going after the people. Now, these people try to go after me to say that I'm this, that and the other, which is as I say, ridiculous, and it's laughable. But I don't want to keep going on about it because it's boring. But the only thing I'm trying to say is, these people have put out that, I've said this before, I'm stealing off them, I'm doing this. Recently put out that, where do I get my money from? It's like, where are these people at? I work, and I also work on projects that I can sell. I have a job. I live with my boyfriend who has a job as well. Work that out. I mean, where are these people's mindsets at? They have their nose in trying to get in other people's businesses, which I will be talking about in this chat in a minute. It'll just go all over because everything's coming in. So yeah, it was beautiful to do that for them, and they were just like, your stuff is beautiful. They actually even bought some, I think it was kids' hair clips that I'd made, because sometimes I like doing things for the enjoyment. Then I get mixed up and think, is that something I'd like to put in a business, or is it? Then I'll stop and start again, just with my YouTube channel. So let's go into it. If you're new, my YouTube channel was called Dolly Daydream. Now it's called Lunar Alchemy, because it'll go in with the chat that I'm going to do in a minute. I said this is going to be a long chat. I'm going to waffle a lot. So yeah, sit back and relax. And I know most of you in my chat will get it. So I'm not really going to come into chat because I'll get distracted. So talk among yourselves. But when I first come onto YouTube, if you don't know, I'm not going to go through it all because there's videos out there of me talking about this. And also, I must laugh. Oh, it'll come in the chat actually. I don't need to say it yet. So when I came onto YouTube, it's because I was at a point in life where I'd come out of a relationship with a newborn baby, which is Finn, which you have seen Finn. He is now 7. So it must have been around 7 years ago I came on YouTube. I don't know. I'm not counting and I'm not bothered. And I don't count how many subscribers I've got or anything like that. It doesn't matter. It's me expressing my journey. I didn't know why I was coming on YouTube. I just felt like I wanted to come and chat. And I've always said, and it's in the beginning of my videos, so I always say consistency is key. People can go on about people lying about who they are, this, that, and the other. It's ridiculous. I've always said, if I've helped one person, hi National, and I've met National in real life, if I've helped one person to find their joy or realise why things happen sometimes and to lift from a negative to a positive, I've done a job. One person. I know for a fact that I've helped quite a few people. So that's even better, because then they'll go on to help people, and they'll go on and they'll go on, and it's a domino effect. I have said that from the beginning. It doesn't matter if I came on YouTube doing makeup, hair, nails, because that's what someone was putting out. I didn't come on YouTube to do makeup, hair and nails. I showed I was doing a nail course ages ago because I was, but that wasn't the only thing I was talking about. I was talking about witchy stuff that I was into, that I still am, because that means a lot, and it's energy based. It isn't what people think it is. Magic is energy, it's chi, it's prana, it's all the same thing. Spoke about that before. So I was bringing different things that I was into. Hi Rachel. And Rachel said, so glad you did, you helped me. And Rachel I have met in real life as well, and she was at the meetup where National Memorial Gardens was there. Rachel actually stayed at my house, and I let her stay in my house, never met her before. And we'll talk about reality and when real people in your life, this will be all mixed up. So keep me on board because I'll get distracted. So I used to talk about nails because I was doing a nail course at the time, but then that fell away because it didn't feel, not because it's like it's artificial or anything. I really enjoyed it. I did nail art and everything. I loved it, but it wasn't floating my boat. I decided to change, to not do that. So I didn't do that. Then I did a few little makeup videos with short hair just because I thought, is this something I want to do? You know, I was looking on YouTube like what people, they do makeup, but I stopped it. Well, I wasn't really doing it. I just did a few. You'll see. I did a few. That was it. And I thought, no, I don't feel like doing that. And I was trying to find my way on YouTube. Then I think I was talking about my hair a lot because I'd grown my hair out, bleached my hair, wrecked it. It'd grown out from short pixie to a bob, so that would also help people with the hair department who were trying to grow a pixie out to a longer bob, which I did show, and I did that. But then I started bringing in my beliefs and my things that I'm into, the witchy stuff, this, that, and the other, brought all that in because I like a lot of different things, but always sat with a cup of tea, chatting to the camera like a friend. That I've always done from the beginning, and that'll never change. I don't hide in corners. I don't, hide from the world. I'm up front, in your face, sat up to the camera talking. And there was one time when I did. Now, this energy that keeps trying to put things out about me, which is laughable. I just have to mention this because it is laughable. This is how people get confused when they don't listen to what people are saying, and they only think they're only half listening, maybe not really listening, watching out and looking and observing and getting obsessed and trying to get into people's lives, which has nothing to do with them. That means they're not looking at their own lives. This person put out recently to some people because I saw it, and yes, I shouldn't be getting involved in that way of observing it, but I just thought, why? Me being a Piscean, I've always been very like, when people, like, because I've been in an abusive relationship in the past, but that's even better with that person now. Thank you, Ricardo. I could never work out why people were like they were. I do now, even though still I'll be like, why are they doing this? Because they're doing it to themselves, even though it's not my job to do that. But this person put out, because it's an experience, and this is what this person has put out, that I have now had a nose job. I was like, and I had to go and comment, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done, but I had to go and comment, say to this woman yet again, I haven't had a nose job. I've never had a nose job. If you watched my video, and there'll be some of you in chat who may have seen this, go back and find it. It was called the no nose job. So this person thinks I've had a nose job, but thinks that's unspiritual because I may have had a nose job, but I haven't had a nose job. I went to have one many moons ago because I felt I wasn't worthy enough, because I was in a relationship that was putting me down. Women and men will resonate with that. There's nothing wrong with my nose. I know that now, but at the time when I was a lot younger, I didn't feel very worthy because this person put me down. So when I went to the surgeon, they said they weren't doing it. I got the money to go. I give the money back after because I was so fuming. I was fuming that they wouldn't do it, but they said, no, there's nothing wrong with your nose. We're not doing it, which then I was happy about because I may have messed my face up, I don't know. Because to me, they were a good surgeon. People need surgery sometimes for different things, especially if you've been in accidents and stuff like that. Good for you if you go and do all that. I'm not really into it. It's not saying I wouldn't, but I'm not really into it at the minute. But at the time, that's how it made me feel. So I went for the nose job, but I didn't have a nose job. So I had, the video I think was called the no nose job, because I didn't have one. So this person again is wrong again. But they put this stuff out to tell people, and this is what I'm trying to say as energy that goes about. Some people just do not listen. There'll be people that go on other channels that listen to someone, but they don't actually listen to the person that they're talking about. They don't actually go and do the research. This is with a whole lot of things going out there in the world, with, you know, what I've talked about before, with what's going on in the world right now with different countries and things going on. People don't listen. They listen to other people, which is fine because we're all saying stuff. We don't actually really know the God's honest truth with what God's plan is, even though it's beautiful, it's coming in, we can see it, but some things will never be known. But they go off what someone's saying, but they don't go and research themselves. So these people begin to look stupid, because if it was put up against what they were saying and the video, they'd realise that that actually wasn't the truth. So, oh my God, and this is where this chat goes in too, because it goes into, this all interlinks with the cosmic astronaut journey, which you probably are on as well when I go into it in a minute. First timer, Cassandra posted your link. I hit the like button. Thank you, cheap seats, and you're very welcome. We are supposed to shut up and let these people be. I'm learning. Yeah, to unearth. The thing is, and there's a lot of people that have been in my channel and gone to this channel, and I've seen them write comments, and sometimes I can't believe it, because I'm like, really? You know, try and listen to what someone's saying. You know, I'm not telling anybody on my channel, this is what you have to do. This is the right way. You have to believe this. I'm saying, this is what I believe. This is how I do it. This was what's helped me. These are my experiences, and I'm sharing them with you. I'm not saying anyone's bad, and I'm not hating other people, because I think hate is a very harsh word, and it's just low energy. Anyway, so I just say to these people, because they will be watching, none of that's important, because at the end of the day, if you are constantly calling people out, doing something to you, it's not because someone's doing something to you, it's because you're allowing yourself to do it to yourself. That's how it is. And that's what you realise when you reflect. Shut the door on them. Yeah, exactly. And I will admit, you know, it does annoy me sometimes. Like I said, I've always been one of them sensitive people who were like, why do people do that? Going back to the relationship I was in with Finn's dad, it wasn't good. It was abusive. And I used to take him back all the time, and this, that, and the other, because I used to think, is it like trying to work him out? Like, a lot of it is to do with childhood traumas. You can't blame that on other people. And his is a lot to do with that. Yeah, hate is a waste of positive energy. Exactly. And I like trying to work that person out, but you'll never work someone else out because you're not them. You just hope that one day they'll see and they'll start moving forward and changing their habits and their ways and their thinking and all that, and it will begin to shift their consciousness and they'll become a higher state of being, as in a better version of themselves that they are when they're in the lower realms. You could say the lower chakras. It's all interlinked. So yeah, so that's there. So these people don't listen. They just want to find something and put that into their belief. It doesn't necessarily mean because it's their belief it's actually true. You know, like I said, you go and research, find things out and you find that's not true. But how silly to be in a mindset of like, you have to have a YouTube channel and you can only talk about one thing. And you can never change, and you can never change your YouTube name, and you can never do this and you can never do that. That's bullshit. And that's where the spiritual so-called community I don't stand with, when it's like, you can't do this, or you've only got to do it my way, or I only got this information in this way, therefore you must be wrong. It's like, no, there's many different ways. It's like when people talk about divination and they think it's evil. It's got the word in it, divine. It's your higher self coming through. People won't go and research certain stuff. They'll just say it is evil or it is something else because someone else said so, or maybe a religious book said something, when you realise that's been twisted. So yeah, it's all crazy. Hi Janine, hi Robert. So as we move forward, so still on YouTube, still talking about stuff. You know, we all know it's what counts inside. It's not what you wear. It's not what you wear. It's not what you wear. It's not what you do with your hair. It's on the inside. None of that matters. So then people really need to shut up and sit down and start listening to what people are actually saying. So yeah, still on YouTube doing that. Sometimes I was showing what I bought from the charity shop. I got this from the charity shop the other day, even though the things aren't sitting down because I'm sat down, so I don't know what this top's supposed to be doing. But anyway, sometimes I buy new things, sometimes I go to the charity shop. I don't know. It's whatever's right for me. Right people twist religion and you don't. Yeah. And yeah, so you have all that madness going on that when you look at it, you just think, poor soul, oh my God, whatever. Still doing all that. Now, when someone says, oh, and then she just came into spirituality on YouTube. No, I didn't just come into my spirituality. I've always been spiritual, with whatever that means to you. To me, it means you were born from the Great Spirit. We all are. We forget when we're born sometimes and we go through all our little shenanigans. But you're all born from spirit. You are spirit. God resides in here, in your heart. Your soul sits in your heart. It's like a seat. That's where it is, in your heart. That's where God resides within you. But it is also everywhere, in everything. It's in this divine flower. It's in plants, it's in animals, it's in the energy all around you, universal energy. All around you, it's omnipresent. That means it's everywhere at all times in everything. So, you know, just because I started talking about things at a certain time doesn't mean I've just come into it. But people get very triggered, and they think because they've been into it maybe for years on YouTube and you've just come along, like, where did you come from and how very dare you? Well, I'd actually been in it before I came on YouTube. So, since I was born. So what does that mean? It's also very silly that I feel like I need to put my glasses on because I'm in one of the moods today. So anyway, moving forward, yeah, and charity shop finds were great. I've probably got some in here somewhere. Oh, and by the way, the girls that came yesterday, they came back, they went to get changed, they came back and she went, Janine, I want to give you this. And I was like, oh my God, that's my favourite artist, because her mum's an artist. It's a notebook. Brilliant. I'll be able to do some doodling and notes in here of my messages that come in. And it's Art Nouveau. I love Art Nouveau. I've got books on Art Nouveau. I have shown you my books on Art Nouveau. Clements, can't remember what his name is, whatever his name is. Art Nouveau. I was like, oh my God, that is so nice. So, yeah, present day. Today, from the past, the present day now, the Cosmic Chat's coming up very soon. I said it's going to be a long one. I'm going to go warm my tea again in a minute. The big spiritual stuff, connection, big connection, moving, shifting, started, where some of you will remember. If you're new, you won't. And the picture that has gone up on the thumbnail of this is Archangel Michael, and that'll come in soon, and everyone's seen that picture, and I will be putting it up later for people to have a gander at, a look at, if you haven't seen it, or be reminded. Now, if you've been on my channel when I used to talk about I still do talk about it, but I will be moving forward away from it, even though it still is part of the thing that I believe in. But I've realised, and Sue, hi Sue, Sue's been with me from the very beginning. Sue knows. She's also on my Facebook, and that she knows what I do. The Q and all that sort of stuff. I used to talk about that, and I used to talk about different rabbit holes that I've gone down. I've talked about petrified giants. I've talked about flat. I've talked about all that, because you go down all that rabbit holes when you're seeking. That's where some of you are from, the flat earth thingy. But like I say, I don't get stuck in one thing. I can take it or leave it and think, yeah, I think this, but I'm not really that obsessed with it. So I can move away from it. Is what it is, whatever. Some people have a problem when they sit in it and they never move because they get angry about stuff. So I used to talk about all that. Now, a lot of you know, when I used to do that, it was a certain light. We used to get orbs in the background, and when I used to say certain things, they used to come in, and a lot were blue. And this is where this whole blue thing started from. And I've got blue on today because God speaks to us through many different ways. Spirit speaks to us through everything. This is going to go back and forth. So they were blue, and I used to, if you remember, I used to sometimes come out with a language that sounded a bit Native American Indian sort of thing. And I used to think, blue kachina. I've done all the chats on this, but I didn't know what it was. And this was a few years ago. But I used to think, well, I'll say it anyway. People think it's daft or whatever. I also did a painting of a girl with white. I thought it was snow, but later to see that people were saying it looked like me and it was orbs. So when the orbs started coming in, you know, I film the orbs, I put them up every now and again. They've been up recently, and one of them I didn't film straight after I got a violet orb. Now, if you know what violet is in the chakra system, it's very spiritual and it's a connection to spirit, but that doesn't surprise me because I do work on that. And the intentions that I put out, it's not like it all the time. I don't need to be working on it all the time, but I do work on it, and I do have conversations with spirit about certain stuff. Might sound mad to people, but that's just me. So they started coming in, and there was this language, and I used to think, oh God, like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. There was other things going on. There was tingles in the fingers, which I knew was energy, which you could perceive as Reiki, Chi, whatever, because it's all the same. Magic, it's energy. It's all the same to me. It's all the same. You can stick a label on whatever you want. You can say it's not this and it's not that. It's all the same to me. That's what magic is. That's what it would have been years ago. People don't understand how you can, you know, manifest with energies, bring things in with changing up your energy, and going from a negative to a positive would have been seen as magic because people didn't understand the energy around us, within us, and everything, omnipresence, and how, you know, you focusing on something and putting intentions out can, you know, cause effect to stuff. Good or bad, depends what sort of person you are. So, you know, neither is good or bad. We know this. It's to do with your intentions. So all this started coming in, and then, was it a year or so ago? I don't know. I did my Reiki level 1 and 2 because I wanted to do it to get a certificate. Not that I needed to, because I was doing it before. When I first got with my fellow, I was doing it on him. I knew what it was, but I thought, just for the sake of people coming, some people like to see a certificate. I'll get a certificate. So my first one I did with a guy when I went for my Reiki treatments, and the second one I did with a girl, which is nice, really, masculine and feminine. And they did tell me when I was purging, and I was getting a lot of attacks when I was purging, even in my astral, which I realise now, but I did shoo them away with a God energy, I'll tell you that. I did speak on those attacks. They were proper. I think there was only about 2, but I did also get, but I knew I was protected, and I've always known that for a very long time. The Archangel Michael, and that's where the picture comes through with the blue face. Archangel Michael is represented by the colour blue. Blue is also represented with the sky and the waters, and I did write it down. whereas it's blue. And it's very calming and it's peaceful. And it's not actually like the sea and the sky is blue. It's just reflected with lights. I did write it down somewhere because I wanted to tell you what messages are coming this week, and not that I can remember them all, but blue, 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 where's my blue? It's wisdom as well. I did write it down somewhere. That is really mega weird. Really mega weird. Let me see. That is crazy. I actually wrote down, which is strange. Very strange. Oh no, looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, blue. You know, you look at the sea, that's why the people say, you know, the sea is very calming, blue, it's very calming, it's peaceful, because it is. The sky and the sea, open spaces, this stands for open spaces, freedom, imagination, inspiration, sensitivity, creativity. And you'd see that anyway, because blue is also associated with emotions, which I'm going to be going into in a bit, but it's wisdom as well. And why was I talking about the colour blue? Oh yeah, Archangel Michael. So I just have to throw the colouring message from blue there. You know, you can look it up yourself. But anyway, and I'm wearing blue today because I thought it'd be quite, getting a bit of Archangel Michael energy, a bit of protection, a bit of calm, a bit of zen. But anyway, yeah, the Archangel Michael picture, when I took that I was astounded because the face is clearly there. Some people said it was evil, but if you don't understand about certain things, you would say it's evil. And you get so many negative people out there, everything's evil, everything's bad, this isn't happening, that's happening, it's still the New World Order. No, it's not. That's actually tumbled and it's turning around the right way. If you can't see that, like I said before, I am not here on this channel anymore. We've got 10 and 10 there. I'm not here on this channel anymore to talk about that stuff anymore. It doesn't mean I'm not into it. I am. I'm watching and observing the greatness of this plan. It's amazing with divine as well. I'm not here to do that. I've done it. I feel like I've done everything on that now. You may see a few things that I might chuck out now and again, especially when a few bigger things happen. But like I said, I used to talk on it ages ago and I used to be a bit more shouty and a bit more blah, 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 blah. But I've calmed down a lot since then. Doesn't mean people still don't get triggered, doesn't mean I don't, but I'm going to go into that chat in a minute. But all that started coming in. I think that came in when I was getting these attacks from the astral, you could say, when I was going through my Reiki purge. So I knew there was things going on there. I've seen that, you know, a lot of people make me laugh because they say like orbs are dust. Yeah, there is dust particles, but there's also a lot going in from different dimensions, and that's how they come in. The light, the plasma, whatever you want to call it, the ethereal, they're not dense like us, so they don't come in the same. But they do bring messages. You can feel it. And you know if it's dark. They don't tend to be dark if they're quite light anyway. And blue's good as well, and to me that represents quite a lot, because if you think of the chakra system and the colours, to me if it was a lower colour it'd be more dense in that way of like, there's a lot of dense people out there, there's a lot of people who are really working from their lower chakras. It's not saying that your lower chakras are bad, but your lower chakras are your ego isn't the real you. You know, you should be working up your chakras. It's like a ladder. You should be, this is what the ascension's like. See, I wrote notes down, I'm not even looking because it's going into it. I'm just going to check that I have talked about it. The ascension to me means, it might not mean it to you. A lot of people think they're going off on spaceships. Well, good for you if we do, brilliant. But the ascension to me is a lot to do with working up your chakras. It's ascending from your lower chakras, your ego, to your higher chakras, which is your God chakra, you could say in a sense. Your higher spiritual chakra, your higher self. You're coming from the lower realms, which you could say are hell, lower realms, dense thoughts and everything, and you're moving up your chakras. That's why you need to clear your energies, and you're moving up and you're moving up, you're ascending higher. You know, people think they're growing wings and they're flying. That's just a metaphor. Is that right? Metaphor. You're ascending. You're going over the rainbow bridge. You're coming from this to that, to the gold at the end of the rainbow, which is you. Your soul self, your real self, your higher self. Not the self that tries to speak to you in the ego, your higher self. That's how I see it. It's not really hard to put together when you're learning certain things. Hi, Karen. So let me just see if I've got some things out of the way. Anyway, just before we go into the Cosmic Astronaut, that's, you know, my journey as a cosmic astronaut, if you didn't know I was an astronaut. Because some people think that I'm a super, what was it? Super soldier. Super soldier because I was in the army. I wasn't in the army. My dad was in the army. And I was a kid that lived on the barracks with my sister. It was ace in the country. No, I didn't go to any schools that made you do things with your mind and all that. People are watching too much stuff. And they get paranoid and they get obsessed. You know, maybe I can't remember, but do you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus. And this is what it's about when people are watching too much stuff. It's not that I don't believe there's people who are super soldiers or they might have been doing this on Mars, because believe me, I've seen all that as well. I've been down every rabbit hole you can go down. Some things I'm like, yeah, but I tell you the God's honest truth, I don't know, because I haven't had that experience. That doesn't mean it's not real. It just means I can't speak on it properly. I can speak about what I believe in, but I can't speak on that was my experience, that I got sent to Mars or whatever people put out there, because I haven't had that experience unless I've had my mind wiped and I can't remember. So I wouldn't know, would I? But I only talk about the experiences that I'm having or seeing or whatever. People need to turn their television off. That exactly. Even YouTube at times, you know, there's a lot of information out there, and that's why we know it's an information war. A lot of information. And it doesn't just mean because someone's saying it's happened, it's actually happened. But, you know, if you've not truly experienced it, you can't say it is truly for real, in a sense, unless you've had that experience. But again, it's not saying it isn't happening. It's just saying I'm not going to talk about something I completely know nothing about. If I'm talking about something I know about, that's because I've had an experience in it. Whether people sit there going, oh my God, because there's a lot of people out there who don't get it, that a lot of people have the same experience. It's called the collective consciousness. I don't, you know, and I'm sorry to take the piss sometimes, but I'm not sorry, because it is ridiculous. And I'm not going to come on here pretending to be all holy, when you don't need to be all holy. So anyway, get rid of that. So anyway, yes, I digress, whatever the word is. See, don't use that word. So anyway, you've got to laugh. You have got to laugh at life. Some of it is really mental, but we live in a mental plane. That's what I say. This is why people need to get this into check. I've said this before. So anyway, I've had some messages in this week. I've had messages in with the colour blue. I've had the dead spider message, which was to do with ignoring something creative. There was a few things with a dead spider meaning, because like I said before, spirit comes through messages so many different ways. Billboards, animals, you know, the spiritual meaning of it. It comes through numbers, so many different ways. If you're not into that, you don't believe it, good, that's brilliant, but I do, because it's in everything. And I kept seeing, if something to do with dead spider, I don't need to go into it. It was and it's to do with ignoring something, and it could be, there's a few things you could be ignoring, but I resonate, and I just got 10 and 10 there, a bit of foundation on the numbers. Mine was a creative thing, which popped up yesterday, so that was quite good from the spider. I also had the violet pansies. Someone came in yesterday off the channel, was like, oh my God, you know, you shouldn't be planting. Oh, they were laughing, it was joking, but they were like, oh my God, there's nothing wild about that, because I put wild woman planting, and I was planting pansies, and they were going, oh, I've been an architect with garden, I don't know, for 20 odd years. It was like, pansies can go out at this time. They're a February flower, by the way. I've just learned that, I didn't even know. And they are out because they're sold in the shops, and I normally plant them around this time, and they're fine, and they've actually been out before, because in the area I live, they're around lampposts. They do quite good, but I don't think they realised they were pansies. They were purple pansies, and I realised that violets, purple pansies, are the flower of February if you're born in February, which is to do with the chakras again, because colours of plants and food is to do with the chakras as well. Everything's connected. Purple, spiritual. Yes, amethyst is my stone. And when I went shopping for them, I said to my friend, oh, I don't know if I want some yellow ones, I don't know if I want the purple ones. But then I'm laughing, because your higher self always knows, got the purple ones. Purple stands for protection. It stands for spirituality. Protection to me is also boundaries. So it is good to plant some purple violets or pansies in your garden, on your perimeters maybe, representing spirituality, boundaries, protection. It means a lot of things, the purple colour. And yeah, so I thought, well, that's, you know, makes me laugh when sometimes you think you don't know why you've picked something or chose something, and then you look into the meaning and you're like, well, my higher self will of course have known that I needed that. So they're in the garden, they're looking brilliant. The wild woman reference was, yeah, there's nothing wild about what I was planting. Wild is, I'm talking wild woman, wise woman, witch, whatever. I like to take the piss sometimes because that's what witches were. They were wise women. They use the magic, which is energy of nature, not to manipulate, as people would say. It's all to do with alchemy, and I'm going to go into that in a minute with the Cosmic Astronaut. I'm all over the place, as usual. So, we are in communion with spirits at all times. It's just if you're listening. So it'll come through an animal. Go and look at the spiritual meaning of an animal you keep seeing. You'll see a message. And it may resonate. It may not. Mostly does for me. I'm just looking through. Done that. Yeah, so what was I saying about? Yeah, so I did my Reiki, did all that. Things were coming in. People were coming to me. I've been getting all these experiences. Been getting haters as well, because you get that when you shine your light. Just doing what you want to do. So I'm carrying on that progression. And then I'm getting to the chat in a minute. I'm going to warm my tea before we get to the astronaut bit. I need to go and put my spacesuit on. So then the light language got stronger. Now, if you don't know about light language, it's fine. You can go and look it up on YouTube, people doing it. If you don't believe in it, fine. Whatever. I'm sure I'll get naysayers saying something else. Yeah, I'm going to put my spacesuit on. The spaceship's packed outside. My rocket's outside. So, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go with it, because I'm not fearful on YouTube of so-called making myself look stupid or whatever. I don't care about that. I don't care about people's shittiness. If that's what they don't believe in, I'm not bothered. I'm just sharing, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are having the same experiences, and they like to think that they're not mad because they see other people and they're like, oh, okay, that's good, and it's good for the mindset, and it's good for the well-being. That's why I share. So obviously I do it now, and it comes up and I feel it, and I just let it out. So I did it on the girls in the garden yesterday, and I was like, right, just listen to this. Just be open-minded. If you're not open-minded, you'll have a problem with everything. If you're open-minded, you do it. And they said, oh, I don't understand what you're saying, but I do understand. I went, exactly. You don't need to understand. Before there was structured, I believe, before there was structured language, you would have had just a language that it wasn't structured. You didn't need to know what was said. You had to feel it. And that's where we wouldn't all be getting into labels and getting mad because someone said this, because you wouldn't have a word to know what the word actually meant. You just felt it in your heart that what was being spoken was giving you a good vibration or not, whatever. So you don't need to know the words. And that's why I like language when spoken, is it's universal. You don't need, you do it to anybody in any language around the world. You don't need to know what it's saying, because it's not in this, it's in this, if anyone gets what I'm saying. So I let them listen, and they were like, oh my God, like, yeah, oh wow, you need to be doing this. I said, I know. So I just shared it with them, and they loved it. And then I ended up getting, when they came back, I ended up getting a gift. I gave them a gift, I received a gift. So there you go. So where I'm at now is, everything I've been through on YouTube has been an unfoldment of things coming in, and I'm sharing it with you. And it's a journey, like everyone's on a journey. Once you get on that journey, you will go through many different stages. Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Many different stages of change. If you're not changing, you're staying stagnant. There's a lot of people that like to, they can be stubborn, and they don't want to move out of what they've been in because they're scared that they're not going to be relevant anymore, or it's not. Of course it is, because you're moving forward, and everything's moving forward. Everything is always changing. Nature is always changing. It's the cycles of the wheel of the year. They change all the time. You need to change. And the good thing is, out of everything, is every time you start a new year, New Year's resolution and all that, they're all bollocks. You get to start again. It's not like, oh, New Year, even though that's wrong. I've got to start again. Oh my God, I can't, because I've got to wait till the next year. You can start over every day to build yourself to be a better person than you was the day before. Whenever you choose, because it's your choice. But if you don't, that's fine. But then you can't moan about it. So you've got a chance all the time. You could say to reinvent yourself. That's not reinventing yourself from being not authentic. It's just you moving forward out of other energy that doesn't help you anymore. Or I've said before, we go from being a baby to a, you know, a young baby, a toddler, to a, you know, so on. We don't stay the same as, we just don't stay as a baby. Can you imagine? We'd never do anything. We go around going goo ga gaga. Some people want to be like that. Then, like, what else are you going to learn? It's all learning. It's all learning. And if you ain't learning by it, you're going to stay in the same cycle. And you're going to keep coming back, because that's what I believe in. I believe you do come back. If you're not learning certain things, you'll come back to learn. And as my beliefs go, yes, we do have soul contracts. And this is a big thing I'm going to mention, because people think you're in their contracts. I've seen this as well. I've observed it on other people's things, and to do with me again. And I'm like, no, it's not my belief at all. Is my belief on contracts is a bit like the cartoon Soul. Watch that, it's brilliant. You can have soul contracts with people. I don't believe a soul contract is just someone you think you know. It's like someone being obsessed with a celebrity, wanting to know the ins and outs of their life, thinking they know them, then they meet the celebrity and they know nothing about them. They're just thinking they know them because they've seen them on a film or talk on something. You don't know them. A soul contract to me is someone you personally know, someone you've personally met in real life. This person hasn't. Not a contract with me at all. If you think you've got a contract with me from not knowing me at all or meeting me in real life, that's your problem, and that will keep you in your lower realms and keep you stuck. My belief is when you have a soul contract with someone, it's someone in your vicinity, someone that you've met or been around. Could have been an ex-partner, you know, there was a lesson there, I had a lesson there. My partner now that I'm with, soul contract, we knew each other when we were 17, but we didn't get together then, but we're together now. Yeah, helping each other. Doesn't mean we agree on absolutely everything together. We work around things. I was being a moody cow in the garden this morning with something, and then I snapped out of it and started laughing, because I was like, well, I don't have a... I started laughing at each other because I was like, oh. I said, oh, I've just been boom. But soul contract to me isn't... This is how paranoid people get. Oh, I've got a soul contract with someone over the other side of the world that I've never met. No, you haven't. You've never met him. To me, it's more to do, it's got to be someone you've met in real life, someone you've got a link to that way. Or, you know, you could say it's someone you haven't met yet, but then you do meet them in real life. It's someone you have personally in your realm, either going to meet personally face to face, or have met that has been in your life, you know, from your past, like as in meaning when you were younger, like me and my partner, or something like that. So no, sorry, I don't go with all that bullshit. And this is where I say a lot of people get caught up in stuff. They watch stuff and think that just because they have beef with someone, because they don't like what they do, or whatever it is, they think they have a contract with them. It's like, no, you don't. Release yourself by just doing you. If anyone gets what I'm saying, not into that at all. Like I said, there's too much stuff out people put out, and people just believe absolutely everything. It doesn't mean sometimes those things aren't true, but what it does mean is, it doesn't mean that every person and everything that goes wrong and it's somebody else means that you're in a contract with them, if you get what I'm saying. And that goes for everything else. It doesn't mean that everything is that, everything is bad, everything is that. No. So, Kiki C, next time I miss you. Thanks for the invite to watch the video. Hello, first time in the chat, and I'm into crystals and stones and also well, hi, is it Kiki? I'm a bit dyslexic that way. I'm glad some of you have come in from Cassandra, because I'm going to be doing new chats, and I'll be bringing my crystals in, my pendulums, which I did show before, because I'm going down a different route in my channel. I can't really say it's a different route, but we're changing it up a little bit. I may use this in a minute, actually. Remind me, because I put it down. And this is why I'm trying to do a chat for the newbies that I've seen coming in from where my channel came from and went. And it's like I said, it doesn't mean I've not got triggered by people that have come in chat, or triggered by another channel who are just not really knowing of themselves, and don't know what they do to themselves for the energy that they're bringing in. Everything is about energy, and this is why I've changed the name to Lunar, keep forgetting, Lunar Alchemy, from Dolly Daydream. I love that name, I still do. I will always be known as Dolly, and Dolly's my nickname anyway, and it means gift from God, and so does Janine, so it's a bit funny, isn't it? I don't mind people having different opinions. It's when people are being disrespectful and trying to aggravate chat. That's when I have a problem. So if you ever like that, you will get chucked out. But, you know, I'm learning as well. I'm still on my path. I'm still learning. So I'm a lot calmer than I used to be. But I will say, one or two people that have tried to bring me down, and they know who they are, and I'm not giving them any attention in the name. It's not bringing this up. It's just an observation. I don't go after people. That's totally a different thing. People who go after people and put videos up about people constantly, saying this person is this, that's someone going after someone. That's not someone saying, if they're saying they've had an experience, that's someone going after someone. That's not the sort of stuff I do. You can easily make a video about somebody and make them look ridiculous, looking like a reptilian or whatever's going on now, and all this sort of stuff. It's ridiculous. So, like I said, the people who come go, oh, don't talk about it because it's the energy. I'm not talking about it in a bad sense. It's an experience, and I know people have these experiences with people in real life. But I must say, YouTube isn't my real life. This is where I just come to experience. Some people use YouTube as like their real life and friends and stuff, and it's like, no, I have a real life off here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and get a fresh cup of tea. I said this would be a long chat, so get comfy. I'm going to read the cards out of the book that I got out of the Oracle today, which is beautiful. I'm going to do some cards at the end, and I'm going to do sound bowl healing. And now we're going to go into the chart of the cosmic astronaut. So I'm going to get a cup of tea. I'm going to get my spacesuit on because I really want you to see it. Because if you didn't know, I've been an astronaut for a very long time, and yeah, I bet you didn't know that, did you? So if you need to go and get a fresh cup of tea, I'm going to use this as an interval. I can't have any music on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this here, these lovely flowers, and their energy. Why I just nip off and make a fresh cup of tea. So I'm going to be a minute or so. So if you want to get a cup of tea or something, then I'm going to return. We have to smell the roses sometimes. Life's beautiful. I don't talk about things to fearmonger people. I talk about things that I have talked about things going on in the world, but trying to help people to see it's not really what's going on, and there's beautiful plans going on and beautiful things and towers falling and just in love. So I'm in a good energy today, can't you tell? So I'm going to go and get a fresh cup of tea in my no drama llama, and I shall return. fresh cup of tea. I'll be back. My son just popped in. See what you're all talking about. Yeah, you do have to find like-minded people in life. And it's funny because there's a lot of like-minded people, and there's a lot of like-minded people who are into different things. So it's like when people go on about soul fam, I've spoke about soul fam, soul tribe, whatever, community. It's hi David's calf. I seriously thought you'd gone into space. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot to put my spacesuit on. I had gone off into space. I just had to go and have a word with my ET friends. Now I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So when I've done the cards, so yeah, that doesn't mean there's only one soul fam, and if you're not in someone's soul family, you know what I mean. Soul family to me just mean people that resonate with you. Yeah, maybe you were with them in a past life, who knows, but to me resonate. If you don't resonate with somebody or somebody's channel or somebody's group out there in off YouTube or whatever, then find your own, find the people that resonate. You know, this is why I always say to people who've got a channel and moan about other people, stick to the channel that you're on and the people that are in that channel, because they're resonating with you, whether that's lower or higher, whatever. If you don't like someone else's being or channel, don't go there. Easy as. Yes, I'm very well. So ooh, I'm going to put some of my oils on. These will be going up again soon. I was trying to find these bottles and I couldn't find these specific bottles, but I'm about to design a new one. I've only got one, but this is the one that, of course it's the one that everyone loves because I've only done one, but the actual reviews I got on this was brilliant. And I have a few because I have one in my handbag, one at home. You know, I use them at work and all the girls always say, oh my God, I can smell it, but it makes me feel dead sleepy and calm. And I said, that's what this one's for. It has got amethyst in it. It has got Reiki infused. It is a calming one. I can't remember what I called this one. I'm sure it was, what was the name I was calling this one? Can't remember. I'll have to look back on my page, my Instagram. And I've had to go into another Instagram account because my other one's gone down. Oh, they like to mess. But yeah, these are beautiful. I think they're 10ml. And they're holistic and they're beautiful and they work. And if you're ever feeling stressed or you need relaxation at night time, they're brilliant. I always use it like this. And I smell it at work, it makes you feel calmer. If you know there's a situation coming up where you're feeling nervous or you just need a bit of peace because people are, I don't know, it will help you with that. It'll help you with sleep. It can help you with your meditations. You can rub it on your hands and smell it while you're doing things. You can just smell it. Hi, Indigo. You can use it for massage. You can use it for many things. You can put it on your temples, you know, your pressure points and all that sort of stuff. I always say to people when they use this, when they go to bed, use it there, use it here, inhale it, really inhale it like 3 times. I think some of you have had this on here. I think Indigo, have you had this? I know a couple of you have. I don't know if Rachel has, I can't remember. I think Indigo has, I'm sure Sue has. I sent something to Sue, I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, you have, yeah, I love your oil, yeah. So I'm going to be making a new one, but the reviews I got for this were really, really good. It's something I enjoy doing. Do you remember what I called it, Indigo? I can't remember. Something like amethyst, something or other, because it's got amethyst in it. Can't remember. And I've got little new bags that they'll be going in as well, which, yes, I thought Sue had one as well. How did you get on with it, Sue? I can't remember if I asked you. This gorgeous material will be used for the bags, little stars on. So that's another thing. Luna something, yeah, I think it was, and I can't remember. I don't know if Sue remembers, but I don't know if Sue, I love it, thank you. Yeah, see? So, yeah. And I've been doing these little baby I just love creating these little baby bracelets. Happy vibe. Happy vibe. We've got Love Is. Do you remember them little characters when you were younger? It's a man and a woman. It was called Love Is. Do you remember? Showing my age now, but Love Is, and this was just me to say that I can do personalised ones as well, and they're for little toddlers. Not babies, but toddlers. But yeah, I've got loads of shit going on. So I'm going to have a gulp of tea, and then I'm going to read the cards out that I pulled in the garden today. Then we're going to go into the Astronaut chat. And this is where this channel is going more, because you have seen bits of it. I do speak bits on it. It's not that I'm very versed in it. It's because I actually do understand it, even if it's not explained very well. But I know you'll get it anyway. So and I'm going to be doing more card pullings, more readings for people, because it's a thing that I enjoy, and I've always done it on my YouTube channel from the beginning. Just a few that I used to pull. So I'm going to be going down that road more. Because I have a lot of decks to choose from. I think I have about 50, I'm not sure, because I'm into the artwork as well. I love art, I love the artwork. And this is one of my, it could have been third Oracle decks, I don't know, but the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, which is a bit like, you know, today, isn't it? The Ancients. So I pulled some cards this morning, and I'm going to actually read the meanings out of the book. I mean, you can obviously see what they say, but I'm going to read the actual word for word readings, and one of them did make me laugh, so I'm not going to read it in what order they came out in, because I want to save one of them for last, which is that one. So, well, actually the first one that did come out is the Lady of Lightning. Beautiful. And it says, surprises sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. 35. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? There is a paradigm shift going on. There is a shift of energy, and there is a shift of timelines. All going on. That's why they said the ascension of getting on a higher timeline is, if you're going to stay stuck and you're going to keep cycling around, you're going to stay on a negative timeline. That timeline, I'm not saying is changing. It has. A lot of people have felt it. You can see it going on in the world right now. You can see it going on in the news, because there's shit going down that we all know is part of the illusion of the media. Like I said, I know that's going on out there, but it's going on out there because it's going on within us. I'm just going to put these notes away because it's just going to come out. You know, I know what I'm saying. In the garden, yesterday and today, was gardening today, I had to drill some holes in the bottom of these plastic tubs to put flowers in, because they weren't draining the water. So as I was doing it, which I found a bit difficult, a lot of dirt fell out. So I had to get my hands in the dirt, pick it back up, stick it back in the bucket. It was all like, my nan used to call them trundlers, wood lice and stuff, and stuff like that, wood lice and stuff, you know, bugs in the earth like there is. I mean, some people would look at that like, oh, there's like, you know, a centipede in there, oh, there's this, there's that, spiders, blah, blah, blah. Well, in the dark, there's a lot of little nasty bugs, you could say, but these bugs are needed in the earth to fertilise, do different things for the earth, for the plants, everything. They're still needed. There's a lot of dark out there that's needed, because once you see the dark, you want to go to the light, hopefully. So it's needed to push you to the light. It pushes you to the light more and more, if you get what I'm saying. So messages all around. But anyway, this says in the actual book, and we have to shift energy because it gets stale, and nature is always changing. So therefore, we are part of nature. We do, you know, we have to move and go with the flow. So this one says, Lady of Lightning. As an ally, the Lady of Lightning brings powerful forces of change into your life. She tells you to expect a sudden shift in your circumstances. And don't forget, this is what I pulled for myself, but it will go with the collective. Perhaps a situation you weren't anticipating arises or offers you the opportunity of a lifetime. Funny, because I was talking about something creative before. Or a series of aha moments culminates in a, I don't know how to read this, something flash of insight, causing everything to change, which, funny enough, I did have that yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it here because it's not for yet. Just like that, maybe someone enters your life and pushes you to new heights. You may have a brilliant idea that hits you like lightning. Be prepared, change is imminent, and it did. Again, that's why you'll see me change a lot. And a total paradigm shift may be upon you. Don't resist the changes, as this kind of lightning isn't something you want to fight. Great things are happening when the Lady of Lightning appears. Now, again, if you're resisting something, some people get all screamy, shouty. It's going to be harder for you, and it's going to take you longer. Don't resist what's meant to be. So that's that one. But we all know towers are falling. We all know timelines are shifting and everything. If you're tuning into the right things, and all is not as it seems. It's all good, but it looks shit. But it's not. Not really. And then we got the sun dancers, which is beautiful because the sun's been out this week and everyone enjoying it, especially yesterday. Yesterday was hotter than today. And this is joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. I've said for a long time, find your joy, find what you love. Got 17 then. And everybody is abundant. No one is not in abundance. You're only not in abundance if that's the way you think, because that will be brought in. You're in lack. So like I said before, people who scream out about other people and what other people have got and what they haven't is because they're in lack. If they're talking about money and other people have got money and they haven't, that's because they're in lack, because that's how they think. They think that you're not allowed money, you're not allowed material possession, you're not allowed anything. Therefore, they're in lack. That's what they bring in, which we'll go into the next card in a minute, funnily enough. So this was saying, number 32, they've got to find their joy, especially in these times that look bleak and people are getting fearful, but it's not really. Oh my God, just find your joy while this is all going on. Otherwise, you're going to find it very, very, very hard. Your ally, the sun dancers, celebrating you now and remind you of the laws of success and praise. Well, it's a bit like I'm saying, if you're trying to put a goal in process, a business, a project, whatever, celebrate it. Celebrate your success. Don't be afraid to celebrate your success and say how successful you're being, and praise yourself as well. And advertise and do whatever you need to do to be a successful person. This is how successful people get on. Not hurting anyone. People who go against that are people who are not putting their thing into action. And they get jealous because they wonder why it's not happening for them. It's because they're not doing it. They're not putting the work into whatever that thing is. Or talking good of themselves, like they think they need to be in lack. They think that the prices need to be low. They think they have to do this, this and this. Well, if that's how you're going to carry on, nothing will come in. Don't point fingers at other people because they're doing something that you want to do, but you're not pushing yourself to do it. Anything you place your attention on, as we know, will manifest an experience. So the laws, but that goes with action. You have to put action in with it as well. Your attention will manifest an experience. So the laws are always perfect. Expect the best and praise it in advance. That unleashes the magic of the mystical magnetic energy, drawing circumstances to you to create the reality you envision. So I'm always saying your thoughts and your feelings and all that will come in. If you're having bad experiences because you're bringing something in, because you're focusing on something that maybe you really shouldn't be focusing on, or it's your thoughts that you're putting out, like you're saying something but it's not matching up because you're not believing in yourself or believing in the thing, so on and so forth. Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine. Be willing to dance the victory dance as your greatest dreams are realised, and watch how easily things begin to fall in place. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. That's another thing with divine timing, and 17's in chat there, and number 9 divine, is even the stuff I was talking about before with number 17, if you know what I'm talking about. Everyone's always said, why has this not happened? And this goes on in the magic realms as well. Why has this not happened? Why that's not happening? It's divine timing. It's not going to happen when you think it should, or even when I've actually said this could be happening. Then been wrong on that subject, but it is happening. It's coming. It's here. It's what, and anything. Just because you've put a time on it or thought it might be coming in that time, it doesn't. It normally comes unexpectedly. So you know. Stay positive and leave the time up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy of being and celebrate your life and abundance today, and celebrate other people's abundance as well. Don't be jealous of people. Celebrate their abundance of whatever it is that they're doing and they're putting it out. And I'll tell you who I'm celebrating. There's quite a few people on YouTube that I've watched in the past, different channels. There's that many anyway, and I've seen them like going, oh, I may be changing my channel again, my name, or maybe doing this and maybe doing that. Now I'm not talking about this because I thought it was this, but now I'm moving into this energy, blah, blah, blah. It might be people I talk about in the future, most likely, very near future. And they're going, because I feel like I'm changing and evolving, because that's what it's all about. The Cosmic Astronaut chat is coming now. And it's beautiful to watch. And I'm like, oh, wow, they're like coming into this thing now that, you know, maybe they weren't looking at before. And they're like, oh, wow, and they're changing their energy and they're changing. So, Cosmic Astronaut chat after these cards. The next card that came out was the Diamond Dreamer. Diamond Dreamer. And it says material wealth, true prosperity, number 6. So this is the biggest one that makes me laugh about abundance, money and material wealth. People get so caught up, like, can't be spiritual. When the Diamond Dreamer arrives, he represents a successful manifestation of the unseen into the material. Comes into the material. Be sure you truly want what you think you desire, for this ally will commit to getting it for you. All manner of conditions flow around you. Messages from Spirit will serve to guide you towards achieving your heart's desire. If you want a house, a bit like what Indigo has manifested, a new lovely house in the country, you'll be led to it. If your priority is a new job, some people I think need to get a job out there, with the right continual steps, you will achieve this. If you desire a more harmonious relationship, the measures needed to create this will be obvious. A project finally pays off. Material gain and positive, let me say that again, positive financial shifts may also be on the way. You will indeed see the tangible results of your ambition. The Diamond Dreamer also serves to guide you to be appropriate choices to that the unseen is awakened to move mountains on your behalf. Positive communication is now possible in all your relationships. That again is how you talk to yourself, what you put out to the universe, and what you believe is all communication with what will come back. Something manifested in the material world does not mean it's bad. Having material wealth, as if some people would say, is not a bad thing. You're allowed that. It's how you are as a person and the intentions you put out. All that is what people want to moan at when they haven't got it. They can have it too, because abundance is for all in many different ways. If you don't want that, that's okay too. Don't moan about when other people have got it. So that was that. Now I'm going to the Cosmic Astronaut. Sorry, I can't find my Cosmic Astronaut suit, because really, this is my Cosmic Astronaut suit. Because I am a spiritual being having a physical experience like we all are, but we're really spiritual beings in this suit, like Yoda would say. We are luminous light beings, not this crude matter. So where I'm going to go now is, I don't know how this is going to come out. I'm hoping you'll all get it. I think most of you will, obviously. Calm down. So far, so good. What's everyone saying in chat before I start? Do a bit of oh wow, I never can say this word. Santo Paulo Santos. I can never say this. Oh, I've just put my candle out. Oh, never mind. Right, so, and then got all the ash all over me. What I've learned on my journey as Janine, Dolly Daydream, whoever. And like I said, the name change to Lunar Alchemy is one. I love the moon. I've got my Moonstone on. It's to do with intuition, waters, Piscean energy as well, to me. And I love the sun as well. Thank you. Is Palo Santo. Yeah, you know I say it wrong all the time. It's hilarious. I'll try not to get too distracted by chat, but it's fine. And then alchemy, to me, is where's my drawing? I did a drawing. She's not finished yet. Oh, this is the sun and the moon, dark and light, yin and yang, whatever. Seeing things, reflecting on things. The bottle in the middle stands for your chemicals in your body, your emotions, right? So we'll just look at that in a minute. She's not finished yet. She's got little wings on because she's ascending in a consciousness. You'll learn, and you'll still get triggered now and again, that when you start doing your energy work or realising about everything is energy, you realise that, to me, alchemy is, people say, oh, he was led to gold and this, that and so. Yeah, but our alchemy, to me, is your emotions. Is your chemicals inside your body that bubble up. So when someone says something, or you see something on the news, for example, they will work on your emotions to get you in your emotion, energy in motion. And then how are you going to react to that? Are you going to get violent? Are you going to get mad? That's what they want you to do. That's what people want you to do, things want you to do. We're learning to come in balance with ourselves, with our chakras, getting them in balance, that all your energy is in balance. If it's out of whack, you're going to be shouting, screaming, violence. There's all sorts of different emotions and energy that go on within your chemicals in your body that get them all shook up of how you're going to react. So to me, basically, you go into, you start seeking, you'll be reading books, you'll be doing that. There's nothing wrong with reading books. Everybody does it. Anyone who says they don't are liars. People read books for information. It's not because you take on all the information. I don't. Sometimes I'll have a book, I'll read a bit of it and go, oh my God, yeah, I know. I don't even need to read that book. I know what they're talking about. But then I might go back to the book. Sometimes the books will have lost information in it, because we know that's why they did the book burnings back in the day, because they didn't want any of the information out. They tried to rewrite stuff. But then people rewrite it in fantasy novels and stuff like that, but you can see it's all there because it's classed as not real, if you get what I'm saying. So you'll have books and you'll take some information, some you'll leave behind, but it doesn't actually mean that that's the God's honest truth, but you'll take some sort of knowing, or you'll resonate with maybe a part of that book, half of that book, all of that book, because innately your higher self knows it to be true. So you'll read stuff, and I have books on different things, especially like astrology. Not that I understand it to the T, but I understand the certain astrology, as in, this is what I'm talking about being a cosmic astronaut, is, to me personally, people say don't look up to the stars. The stars are a part of us. The planets are. All the energy from the astral, you could say astrology, our birth charts, your star sign. Not your star signs you put in the paper saying, oh, you're going on holiday next week. Not that. That's just whatever. I'm talking about your attributes, because you have all the planets in, and they have different attributes. They have the dark and the light side of the personality of, let's say, that planet. When this is how I see it, because it's not like I'm versed on it dead well, but when the planets come into a conjunction, or they're moving, they're retrograding, or whatever, all that, different energies are coming in, dragging out. That's why you'll feel certain things. So you start to realise that when you start to realise and know that everything is energy, because everything is, that's what we are, energy, frequency, working, we work off these frequencies, sound and vibration, Nikola Tesla, you realise that you're getting planetary energies that are coming in and shaking our chemicals up and making us that can affect us, especially when it's in retrograde and stuff like that. And then, people will be like, oh, I'm feeling this way, like on a full moon, or I'm feeling, yeah, because it's a planet's energy, and we're a lot of water. A lot of water. It's Sunday, soul day. We're all a solar day. We're all made up of so much percentage of water, so the moon's going to affect us, stuff like that, and our bodily waters. But if you get what I'm saying, they affect. So there's the planets with their personalities, their things that link up. You can have different plants to different planets that you could use in that month, that could heal this, that and the other. You will have the planets that move in your different house. It's like now we're coming out of, but we've been in the last sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces, which is funny because that's a spiritual, and we're shifting from a new form of energy on a different timeline. Things are changing, funny enough, in the last house of Pisces. Hilarious, isn't it? Well, it would be, because everything's going quite spiritual. But all these energies affect us, and if you don't know about them, they'll affect you more. If you start looking into it, you'll start realising things, and why certain things affect you on certain days, months of the year, whatever, or they may affect different star signs, zodiac signs differently. It's like me, for instance. I'm a Pisces. I'm very like, can swim over here. I can change. I'm quite mutable because Pisces is mutable. My boyfriend is a Capricorn. I think it's Earth, and they're very like, that's why it's good, because I'm off with fairies and he's Earth. But they are very, also, their energy can be very stubborn, and they don't like to move out of what they know. But what would be good for them is to move out of what they know and stop being so stubborn. So we have all these different things going on. So not only do we have all the planetary energies coming in, and it goes with the Earth as well. That's why, you know, people talk about the conjunction and what happens when they're all in alignment, and that's why you could say the dark side. Those that have known about like occult or astrology, this, that and the other, it's all the same to me. Like they know about it, they will use it. Not because the energy is bad. You can still get in communication with other realmly things or other things out there, but it's how you use it. So you're getting all this coming in, and if you're not understanding about the certain planets that come in and what they match up with, because lately it has been the political, because they are, some planets are to do political. I can't think if that's Saturn off the top of my head, stuff like that. Well, no wonder that's all happening with what people call the political stuff at the minute, because that's what's coming in. It's a change of guard. So you're getting all this coming in. You will get energy coming at you from other people, other energies around, because everything is energy. Animals, everything's bombarding us all the time in this place we called Earth. That's why a lot of people say when we came here, you know, a lot of other beings would say that is a hard place to go to, because the energies are coming from everywhere. But to be a cosmic astronaut, you have to learn to know thyself, to know who you really are, and who is you, meaning, oh, you're Pisces as well. You know what works good for you. You know, and you do know, as people can't say they don't, they'll act as if they don't, or oblivious. When something's coming in, you know, even if you have a thought and think, that's not my thought, you know, where's that coming from? That's where you've got to think, that isn't me, that's not how I really feel about something or somebody, to just evaporate it and tell it to go away and watch it go. It's not you. You need to learn where these energies are coming from. Like when you're around people, and obviously, you know, when you're around good people, people who are fun and all that, you pick up in that vibe. Now, if you all of a sudden went over to that corner, it was a load of miserable people that always talk negative, you will sit there feeling so drained and negative yourself that you'd be just thinking, oh my God, I need to go back over there and sit with them people. Them people have lifted me up. It's of energy they're putting out, and they know what's them and not. You know, they'll think, oh my God, even if you are a bit negative about stuff, you can easily switch it by thinking, right, I'm going to switch that negative to a positive. Always see the silver lining. Laugh about stuff as well. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't judge yourself so much or feel guilty about something, because you can change it all the time. We all get triggered. I've said this before and I've said it again. Family mundane life and the mundane can be pretty suppressing. It can be boring sometimes, you know, but it's what we all have to do to move in the physical realm anyway. But you've got to start making it fun and making it less of a chore. Well, I still struggle with that because I'm a Piscean. I'm very spiritual and off with fairies and more in them realms than the other realms of, oh my God, we've got to clean, we've got to do this, we've got to make tea, we've got to sort our kids out, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But we've got to do it, whether you like or not. You've still got to move and do that, but it's how you do it. In both realms, it's called balance. So to me, astrology is massive when you're looking at, you're not nosying at other people, because this is a problem on YouTube. I've got people sticking the business in, the big nosing around. This isn't just me, this is other people wanting to know about other people's lives. It's not for you to know, because my path's my path. Your path is for you to find out what's right for you. So you find out your soul purpose, whatever that is, your chart, your thing that you came here to do, the things that make you happy, the things that make you move more in action, and to know the things that you aren't. And it's good when we see people that we're not, we would class as more negative, because you just think, oh my God, I don't want to be like that. I'd rather be more for the light and more for the joy and more for the happiness. It's like quite easy, you know. And people can sit there and say, oh, well, the thing is, when you actually look into these things, because to me the tarot it's divination, and it's things that can come in and sort of control our way of being and our destiny and stuff like that. But there's also that element of you've got to take action to take that course of not letting it all be swayed by, you know, I'm trying to say there's some things we cannot control. We can't control what's going on in the world right now, even though there's beautiful things coming, but you can control you and how you put things out and how you come across and how the positive thoughts and vibrations you want to put out to bring good things in. So to me, the tarot has always been, personally to me, I'm not really interested in what other people say, it's a life story of us going through, it's a journey from the fool, everyone thinks it's a fool, isn't a fool, it's a bit like when I say people have a midlife crisis, it's people realising things, all the way through the people that you'll meet, the characters that you'll meet, the energies that you'll meet, you know, we're all magicians at the end of the day. It's if you know you're a magician, witch, wizard, whatever, you're all magical because it's all to do with energy, and it's how you move that energy, how you let other energies come in, meaning other people's energies. Do you let people drag you down? Do you believe what they say about you, or do you just flick it away like a flea on your back? Because that's what you need to be doing more of. So to me, astrology is massive. It's not because I'm dead on top of it, but I'm into it, and I'll be getting more into it, but I understand the basics of it, just like I understand the basics of tarot, which I'll get into more, and I always have done, and I've always been interested in it, always. When people take the piss and say, oh, it's just astrology, do you mean like in the paper, your star signs? No, we're not talking about the star signs in the paper, that's nothing to do with it. And my readings that I do for myself and on here are always bang on with what I've been talking about, because it's a connection to the divine. It's your higher self coming through, knowing what you already knew before you knew it, but then you think, well, yeah, I did know that, because, do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain sometimes, but it's so easy. Like the days of the week are connected to the planet, so on a certain day you might look and think it's not a good day to communicate today, or do maybe shout out in anger, because it's the day of communication and it's how you communicate. It's all interlinked, and I'll be doing more chats on this because it is. You know, to me, personally, I see we live on a realm. Don't need to get triggered. The stars are like a clock that go around. You know, you've got a clock on a wall with up to number 12 zodiac signs. We go around in a cycle, the wheel of the year. It's all connected. All connected. You know, you'll get different signs in different houses. Different things that come into those houses, your attributes. That's why you normally say, well, you this, you that, yeah, you're a bit like a Piscean, you're a bit like this, because it's all there. It doesn't mean you're exactly the same. Depends when your moon's in and this, that, and the other, and all that stuff that I'm not too high on with that, but you can see it, and it totally makes sense to me. Might not make sense to other people, but it totally makes sense to me, because that's what I look at. You know, that's what I've always liked to look at, and stuff like that. So I will bring in more of that to this channel. I've always brought snippets of it, but, you know, and I'm not, you know, if you don't believe in that sort of stuff, good, but you can still come in and listen. You know, there's too many people getting triggered over too many labels, like, oh, you're a globe, you're a flat earth, you're this, you're that. Does it really matter? Do people need to get angry because people have different opinions on something? If something's working for you and it's taking you from a negative to a positive, what's your problem at the end of the day? You know? I have to go, but please smash the like button if you haven't already. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, whatever you're doing today. I'll come into chat in a bit. So, yeah, to me, you know, you've got the sun in the sky. That's beautiful. You could say, you know, Father Sun. You've got Mother Moon. You've got the sun that is reflecting everything, all the beauty, all the things that manifest. And to me, you've got the moon that is good for reflection, like a mirror, to always reflect on the things that you're saying and doing and things that are coming on, even to reflect on, like, why do I feel that way? Is that really me? I've talked about this before. You don't judge yourself. You just think, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this next time. Because, like I said, cycles of life doesn't mean you have to start in January. You start every day when you wake up to bring something in if you want to. And if you want something to change in your life, or you want to change, or you want to bring something new in, bring it in whenever. Don't be worried about what other people are going to think, because, oh, 1 minute you were into this, then you were into that. It doesn't really matter. If you want to go and look at something and bring something new into your life, you can let the other go. People think that they have to, it's such a belief in something else that they have to stay there because they're going to look they're worried about what other people are going to think of, like, oh, you've changed, or now you're saying this. I've never been afraid of that. That's why I talk about so many things on here. And if I drop something, or I'm not talking about that anymore, it doesn't mean that I've totally dropped it. I may have done, but it just means I'm moving forward. But what's always been consistent is nature, the cycles of life, which also go with the planetary energies that come in, and all that stuff. It's all interlinked with the celestial beings. The different dimensions that I believe in, because I believe there's different levels of dimensions and things will come in. And yes, I do believe in angels because I have seen them. Yes, I do believe in the Fae realm because I've seen them personally. This is what I believe they were when I've seen certain things, certain energies that don't look the same as us, but they're there because you can feel them. Yes, the spirit realm of the deceased, because I've had that with my nana. You get messages in from cosmic energies, you get messages in from plants, you get messages in from the earth, trees, bugs, animals, numbers. It's everywhere because the divine is in everything. Omnipresence, number 17 again, and 9, divine numbers. And you're in communion with it all the time, every waking day, if you're listening and if you're observing certain things that other people will think you're mad at. If you're not listening, good. If you don't believe in it, good. But it's communicating with you all the time, trying to get you on the better path for you, to help your well-being and your being and your realm of consciousness, which is this, and your higher chakra coming from the lower chakra to the higher chakra, God consciousness and beyond, to lift you from hell, you could say, if you want to say that, which is the lower chakras. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that's where things dwell that are too dense and they're not doing you any good. You want to move up the chakras. It's going to be really funny because I found something really interesting on something I'm not going to put out there yet, just in other chats. So me being a cosmic astronaut was just poking fun at the fact that, I'm here on Earth, but I'm off in the cosmos as well, learning about energies and how things work and watching people and observing things on here, outside in my job at work, of how people are with each other. And it's interesting how, if you note things down in a journal of how you're feeling in certain things, you will link up with if you learn about planets and different things, different energy around you, spiritual messages from animals and all that, you will learn that it all links up. And you'll start to see the messages, and then you'll start to learn how to communicate, get around certain energies when they come in, because certain strong energies can come in and it can drag you down sometimes and make you feel tired and stuff. But if you know that energy is coming in, you'll know to rest, or you'll know not to do certain things on that day, or trying to get in confrontation with somebody, something like that, and it'll become a lot easier. And the more you do that, the easier it'll become. That's what I found personally on my journey. That God is helping us all the time, in that sense of it's in everything and all around us. The people who have a problem with it, as far as I see, are the ones that are not tuned in. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just saying they're more into what's going on in the news, as in, yes, I've talked about what's going on, I'm not into it because I don't believe it. What's going on there, keeping up with the Joneses, anything's only based on money, if you know what I mean. Like I said, you've allowed material things and money, but only based on that. They don't look at nature's whispers, nature's messages. They poo-hoo everything off. They're very unopen-minded, and a lot of them class themselves as highly intellectual. Not saying there's anything wrong with being highly intellectual, but when you actually learn that you're not stupid if you've ever felt stupid in the past, highly intellectual people have been highly programmed as well. Not saying that for everyone, because I know some highly intellectual people, but it's a programming as well. So there's all that out there. If anyone gets what I'm saying. So that's why I've changed my name to Lunar Alchemy, because everything's to do with the alchemy of how you are bringing in energies or not, how you're bringing things in your aura, are things sticking to your aura, or other energies and everything coming in, there's many of them, will affect you. And if you don't know this, that's why a lot of people get mad, a lot of people get confused, because there's a lot of people who talk about energy and they say they've done energy work and they've done this, and then they go back to sleep and they start screaming about things and going on about stuff, and it's like, hang on a minute, you're meant to be on a path of learning about it. Doesn't mean you're not going to get triggered, but it's like, what? If you get what I'm saying. But the more you get into that if you choose to, and look at certain things if you choose to. You will see how you get affected by things, people and other beings in other realms. And a lot of it is to do by not putting boundaries up, and this is why I say I put boundaries up on my channel. If you're going to be an idiot and you're going to come in and try and disrupt, you will be chucked out. If you're offended by that, oh well, I've said this before, a lot of people get offended out there, and it's like, that's just because you're going off your feelings. You know, if you're basically trying to come in with the intent of disrupting, you will be chucked out. I have boundaries in my life. I had to put boundaries in my life from past relationships because I wasn't, so I learned to put boundaries up. So I'm not worried about people saying, oh, Dolly chucked me out here, chucked me out there. If you're being an asshole, you will be chucked out. Sometimes people get chucked out by accident and they come back in, and then if they're being a bit respectful, then they can come back in. But this is what I say about people should listen first. And it's funny when you get people from other channels that are from other channels of different things I've looked at before, like Flat Earth or this, that, and the other, and they start shouting about stuff. It's like, we're not talking about that now. Go to them other channels. But to me, it is all to do with alchemy is your body chemicals, if you want to say that. It's to do with your emotions. So you need to get in balance, because a lot of people are out of balance with their emotions because of what's been going on in the world for a very, 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 very long time, centuries, of how they've worked on us to get your energies out, because they feed off the energy anyway, especially negative. So if you're a person who's always talking negatively and always talking about the negative and all that, you're working for them, the dark side. It's got your grip. Like I said, it doesn't mean you don't get triggered. It doesn't mean you don't have bad days. It doesn't mean your family can piss you off. It doesn't mean this, doesn't mean that. That happens anyway in this earthly realm. It's just knowing to reflect and not let it happen next time. Try to balance your emotions next time a certain situation comes up. You're tested all the time, I would say, by the divine. Situations thrown at you with family or whoever. Like I'm saying, most people who are innately in your life as close and are in your real realm, to see how you'll react. So just think, next time maybe I won't react that way. Like I said, people who come at me off YouTube are irrelevant, because I'm not, they're not in my real life. It's YouTube, and YouTube isn't real, in that sense of, you know what I mean. So that's what I'm all about. And if I decide to change tomorrow and change talking about something else, so be it, because change is inevitable. It's happening whether you like it or not. And you need to change and adapt. If you find it hard to adapt, you're going to find it very hard with the new energies coming in. Everything that's coming in from the towers that are fallen and what's being rebuilt on this new earth and the timelines. And that's why people find it hard, because they want to stay in the old. Well, the old is going, that old guard is going, and the new is here. So like I'm saying, if you find it hard to adapt and you're that sort of person, and I see a lot of people going, oh, the energies are like, because you're finding it hard to adapt. I just think, right, so we're doing this now, so we'll just flow with it. It's not saying it doesn't piss me off sometimes, it does, but I'm not in fear of change, because I'm a Piscean. They change all the time. If you're a Piscean, you'll know exactly what I mean. Like a magpie, I'm like, oh, what is that over there? What is that over there? I even said to my boyfriend yesterday, oh my God, sometimes myself gets on my nerves, as in, I look at, oh, you want to do that, what do that. It's like, concentrate on one thing. I'm like, I can't concentrate on one thing. I'm a Piscean. I'm like, I need to be everywhere and in everything and doing this and doing that. Though I've kept saying, I know I need to anchor it. But that's just a thing that I've got to work on. This is what I'm saying. When people want to stick their nose in your business, my business, thank you, Junior Berwick, is you're not supposed to be in anyone else's business. You're supposed to be in your own business, meaning focusing on your own thing. If you're trying to work out what someone else is, especially when you really don't know them, it means it's giving you a message that you don't really know yourself. Your business here on earth is to sort yourself out and balance yourself up in all aspects, and the aspects of the planets that come in. And I just went off then. When you start learning about that and yourself, you can start bringing all these aspects in. There are material aspects and financial aspects. You've allowed them. There are the spiritual aspects. There are all the aspects and what we can bring in, but all them aspects can be good. Government can be good. Financial can be good. It's just because it hasn't been for a very long time, because they know about these energies that come in with the planets, and they try to get us all in our emotions to not get on that timeline or that energy to bring it in. They bring it in because they know about it. So to me, learn about it or not learn about it, that's up to you, but that's where I'm going with this channel, because that is what I've learned on my journey, and it was the things I've been into as a kid, didn't understand it, but was always resonating with the stars, with astrology, with magic, with witches and wizards, the books, the films, everything, because I was brought up in nature, thank God, from a very young age before I moved to where I am now. I haven't lived in this town all my life, only till I turned 8. So basically, you know what they say about from 1 to 7, very important times. I was brought up in nature, allowed to run free in the army barracks, which was a lot of forest and a lot of swamp and stuff. So putting that out there, and I'm grateful of that. And that is another thing before I do some cards and stuff, is a lot of people will look at others and say, but I had a traumatic past or childhood, because that's where a lot of this trauma comes from, that you got to release because your past isn't who you are now. A lot of people still sit in that. Personally, I had a good childhood. I'm not saying things didn't happen. My mum and dad got divorced when I was 14. That might have been traumatic. It wasn't traumatic to me. It was traumatic to my sister. I just said, if you don't get on, you need to split up, to my mum and dad. But you're still my mum and dad. But as far as I know, and people can go, oh, she's lying, because this is what people say who have had a more traumatic past. My childhood was, I'd class as normal. It was fun. I liked it. My mum was a bit of a pain with cleaning and stuff, and like, you got a spot of dirt and you should go mad, and we'd always be traumatised by that. But we were happy. We were brought up in nature. Me and my sister were very close. We still are. We played out with other people. It was beautiful. I'll talk about some of the things. I'll go through different things when I was a childhood. We didn't have massive traumas of, I'm going to say this because this is true. If you were brought up in a family and they were abusive, bless you. If you were brought up in a family where you were abused in any way or raped or anything like that, bless you. I know that happens. I wasn't. That doesn't mean I don't know stuff, or I haven't had, because we all have trauma, by the way, something that's happened that helped me, because the trauma does help you. I have had trauma in relationships, something totally different. Trauma's trauma, pain is pain. I had so much pain in some of my relationships. This is going to sound weird to people. It will still be that pain that someone who's got abused in different ways, because it was painful. It was heartbreaking. And so is that, if you get what I'm saying. Some people won't understand what I'm saying. But my childhood was a nice childhood I brought up in. If people say they have contracts, then don't blame others for your contract, because I do believe in that as well. It's like I said at the beginning, it's not the contracts you with people you don't know, it's with the contracts with the people you know. And I do believe that you come in and you made a contract with your mother and your father, and to be what you needed to learn, and the people that come into your life personally that you've met in real life. Mine was more to do with past relationships, not my mum, not my dad, even though I have had learnings off them, but not in such a traumatic way as maybe the relationships. Some people go through the traumatic contract with a parent. It could be a father or mother or both, or a grandparent or whatever. Don't mean to trigger people, but don't blame other people for your childhood that you made a contract in. People believe in contracts that you made before you came here to help you learn and shift. If it's not helping you learn and shift, you need to look at that, let go of it, and see why it was there to help you move. This is why I say we all have trauma at different stages in life. It's how you reflect on it and how you take that forward. People who are depressed are normally people who live in the past, and they think it is a representation of them now. It isn't. People who get anxiety are thinking too much of the future. It's all about the now. The past of what anyone said about you or anything that's happened, don't judge yourself. That does not determine who you are now. You do. And so for the future. So, you know, that's how I see it anyway. If other people don't see it that way, that's up to them. If they want to stay stuck and spinning around, that is up to them. Yeah, and as Michelle is saying there, breaking the cycle was the only choice I saw out of a very traumatic childhood. Thank you, Michelle. It's not to blame others. It's not to say you didn't have a hard time then. It's to break it, because cycles normally come up from, I even have to look at my ex, family traumas, from the trauma they received as a child, as they received from a child. And how you break it is you don't carry on that trauma. Some people do things because that's what happened to them as a child. Don't want to go into it. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's on a lot of levels as well. So they think that's what they should do, and they're angry, and sometimes they go on to do that to their children, or go on to be like that way with the children, and the children take that aggression or abuse to the next. Not everybody, because some people break the cycles, and I know people like this in real life, and they go, that happened to me as a child. When I have children, I am not carrying that on. I am not going to be that person. My mother was, my father was, my grandfather, nana, whoever, somebody, uncle, somebody in the past, and traumatise my child like that, because I know it wasn't right. So I am not going to do that. I'm going to do everything in my power not to be that way, or work on that every day not to be that way. I've had things where, you know, sometimes I say, oh, you sound like your mother. Like, I'll say things to Finn and think, oh my God, I sound like my mother. I don't want to be like that, because I hated it as a child. So I've got to break that cycle. It wasn't a massive trauma. It wasn't an abusive. It was just a thing like, oh yeah, I've got like. So I think a lot of you will get what I mean. Just like Michelle said, you taught me about the spiral. Thank you. Yeah, you either spiral down or spiral up. Like Michelle said, she had to learn that herself. I am not here to do anyone's traumatic work per se for them. I'm just here to say it's for you to do, but I'll put messages out that might help you to realise what you should be looking at in your life. You're not looking at other people and pointing fingers. You need to point the finger at yourself and look at yourself and reflect. Need a journal. I've talked about this before. Get a journal. Reflect on why you're feeling a certain way. What in the past could have set you off on something. I said this to a friend once, and she said it traumatised her and it made her feel down. And I said, it will, because you're reflecting on yourself in the dark side. You need to look at that to let go and forgive. People do things sometimes, hurt people because it's things in the past that they've carried on. You don't need to carry that on. People will say, oh, well, I'm this way because my mum was, or my dad was, or me whatever was, and I'm a drunk, or I'm a this, that, and this, because they were. You don't have to be that person, because people go, it runs in the family. It only runs in the family if you choose it to carry on in the family, if you get what I'm saying. Anything. Oh, I do shout at him sometimes, and he doesn't like it. I do, and I know that's not the right thing to do, although, but we are just human too, and things piss us off sometimes. But he only doesn't like it because he doesn't get shouted at a lot, because obviously it upsets him, but he doesn't listen. He's 7, and he's, you know, and sometimes it will come out, and that's when I think, oh my God, you know, don't do what your family did. Try, you know, and talk to him. So, oh, he's like a Tasmanian devil sometimes, but that, I don't judge myself. I just think, yeah, next time, blah, 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 blah. You know, that will come out sometimes. Like I said to my boyfriend today, I was a bit moody about something today, but I said sorry after and said, oh, just ignore me and being a bit moody, because he wanted me to do something and I wasn't in the right mind of doing it at that time. I wanted to go and do something else, which was more in the spiritual, and this was more earthly. And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, well, it needs doing. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't want to do it right now. And the only thing with me is it's a bugbear. If someone wants me to do something and I'm thinking I'm doing something else, and then I get told I'm doing it, I'm like, I didn't want to do that right now. But I've done it, feel better, said sorry, laughed about it, kiss and a cuddle, and that was fine again. Because life, shit happens in life. We get triggered, shit happens, things get thrown at us, you know, and we just have to keep going back, going, oh yeah, it was one of them chucked at us, let's reel that in, and next time it pops up, I'm not going to react that way. And then if it does, like next time it pops up, right, we're not going to react that way. You'll keep doing it till it's reprogrammed in your brain. You got to deprogram to reprogram yourself. I do think sometimes, God, it's not really that hard, but people make it fucking difficult sometimes. Firm parenting is required, but not from a level of anxiety or depression. Yeah, exactly. I struggle with parenting sometimes because no one gives us a bleeding instruction book. You know, sometimes it's like you let them do what they want, because, you know, we're here to guide them, but we're not really here to control. That's the biggest problem I had with my mum, is control. But then sometimes you want to do this that looks like control or feels like control to them, because it would as a kid, as it does sometimes. But then again, they are their own person even when they're younger, so it's a bit like you're telling them to do that, and then that's when my mum comes in and I'm like, oh my god. And then it's like, but they want to do that, but that's their personality. It's crazy. And it is, yeah, it is what it is, and the world is a crazy place. But, you know, it's a beautiful place. But I think you'll all get what I'm saying. Shit happens. Just pick yourself back up and start again. No one said you can't tomorrow, today, this minute, now, tomorrow, whenever. You don't have to stay in the same cycle, and you don't have to stay in the same energy. I come on YouTube when I'm in my best energy. Why would I come on when I'm feeling a bit drained or tired from work? Because my physical job is knackering. That's why I'm not on as much at the minute. I have to be in the right energy. I could come on when I'm feeling lower, but why would I do that? I just make everyone else feel low. That's not what it's all about. My channel's about helping people build up with positivity. It doesn't mean I don't have shit days, or days where I'm feeling knackered or down, or I haven't got the energy to do this, or someone's pissed me off, or whatever it is. But I know to take myself back from something and think, oh my god, you know, like, if I go and do this now, I'll go and draw or something. It takes me out of, my meditation is drawing, because it takes me out of thinking about other stuff or things or other energy. And like, no, I don't need to be in that energy, you know. I don't need to be in that energy. So I'm going to pull some cards now, and then I'm going to do the bowl. I'll probably elaborate on this more again, because I've probably missed things out, actually. Just let me look. I probably have. I haven't got a clue. Probably haven't covered everything, but... Oh yeah, sorry, I did want to read something out. So I was getting a lot of messages from plants, animals and everything this week. But one of the things I saw at work is because of the orbs that I have in. And if you haven't checked my light language orbs, I put them up the other day and got 7 and 17 in. I was at work, and it was the other day when I did the orbs, and after I filmed, a violet orb came in, and I was like, connection to the higher realms, spirituality, but I already know that, you know, that I'm connected. So I'm at work, and this stamp comes up, and it's got like these circles on, and I read it, and I'm like, oh my god, I love that. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it to write it out to read to you lot, because it's just beautiful. So I want to read it, and it said, I'm not even looking at the right thing now. Where did I write it down? It says, yeah, maybe it is. I like this. Orbs dance freely, or is it? No, I've not even started at the beginning. Might start again. Skies fall dark, small shadows grow tall. The wind is wild and surrounds us all. This was a message. Yet through the darkness we see lights. We see a light. Orbs dance freely, or is it a sprite? Magic surrounds us, just look closely. Once you've found it, you'll never be lonely. Stay on the path as you enter the night. Believe in magic, then look for the light. Beautiful. It's what keeps me in good mood and faith of what's going on in the world. There's always a light, and there's light shining out there. Many people in different places, higher places, lower places, that people think are not good, but really they're working for the light, and that is all I'm saying. So if you're new to my channel and you've seen some videos on certain things and people out there in certain countries called Mr. T and other stuff, it doesn't mean you can't come in and I'll have a problem with you. I'll only have a problem if you're disrespecting and continuously disrespecting something. If you don't believe in that there, that's okay. Don't bring it up in the chat. Just listen to the things that I'm saying. Because there will be people who are like, oh, I really like what she's saying, but oh my god, she must be evil because she's been talking about that over there. It's like, no. So I need to go and chill out and have a Mother's Day tea. So I'm going to pull some cards. This is going to be coming more on the channel. The stuff I've talked about in the past, a bit witchy, a bit wise woman, a bit crystally, a bit this, I've done chats on. I'm going to be doing more of. This is where my channel's going. So to the people out there, the haters, you can start reporting on that if you like and doing things on it just to say someone's not this, that and the other. What I will be talking about is what I believe in and the way I see it, with the way I use things, or have looked into things, or have had an experience with, and bring it to you. If it's not for you, you don't have to watch. You don't have to comment silly comments. Just go and watch somebody else. But I'm bringing in what works for me. More and more, things are changing again. So, the crystals are there. We're going to clear some energy with the bells. Now, I got this off a guy. If Sue's still in chat, she'll know. There was a guy that passed away on YouTube. He was a YouTuber, a lovely YouTuber, and he passed away. And he got me these. I was looking for some Tibetan bells, and he got them from a charity shop. Always cleanse your stuff from a charity shop. So, yeah, I often think of him when I see these. He was great. He was a goth guy. And I'm not going to shout names out because I've noticed people are putting people's names up on YouTube trying to associate them with bad things. So don't think any of that is disrespectful. And this person's not here anymore. Well, here in spirit, but not in the physical realm. So I'm going to ding for some clearing. And then I'm going to do some cards. And I'm just wondering which cards to do. I'm going to do, the universe has your back, because it does if you're listening. I'm going to do, this room's changing again for the umpteenth time. My fella said if I put a, like, what do you call it when you put a camera watching the, what do you call it, where you'd see it changing all the time. I don't know, just having a constant camera on. The Lightseers Tarot deck, we've got Work Your Light, very important, Oracle deck, and we've got the Witch's Wisdom. Witches stands for wise women. In Ireland they call them the, why has it gone out of my head now, the cunning folk. Also, you know, those that know about energy. Magic is chi, reiki, chi, prana, that's what energy is, that's what magic is to me. So nothing evil about it, unless you're an evil person and you use it for the dark side. So I'm gonna do the Witch's Wisdom first. You know, it's so funny because when you mention the word witch, other people come in like, oh, it must be saying this stuff, it must be, you know, doing this and doing that. So unknowing people, uneducated. Cracks me up. So let's see what we get. Yeah, I remember when we did that spiral chat on energy. Oh, hang on a minute. It's been cleansed, this room anyway, so yes, I know what you're talking about. And I'm not saying men won't be interested in the upcoming chats, they will. But broomstick, we know what a broomstick is used for now. Back in the day, the witch's broomstick was used for cleansing your space and taking sweeping the negative energy out of your house. Also, I believe it was also used for, which way it was put up was a witch in or was a witch out, because you didn't have lock your doors in them days. And also, the witch's broom is to do with the man and the woman, fertility as well, just in case you didn't know. It's to do with clearance. Springtime, see, my cards are always right, clearance. What I've been saying about, you know, we've been weeding in the garden, you're clearing stuff out in your physical realm, your inner realm, everywhere. It's all about clearance and bringing in the new energy in springtime, because we're following the seasons, do as the seasons do, and you're going to feel a lot better. So that was a message from the Witch's Wisdom. Can't really go wrong with that. Connected. We're going to do Work Your Light, see what the light wants you to focus on. Yes, I used to have a broomstick, and then it went in. It was in the house. Then it went in the garden as a representation of that. And then it sort of got destroyed in the garden because it got weather beaten, and then it fell apart. It was a beast and bicep. I can't remember what you say. Yeah, I think it came from America. I can't remember. I loved it. Might have to get a new one. And then I had it up on the fence, and then I hung lights off it because I thought, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, it sort of disintegrated. But never mind. But that's what it was used for, not for flying on. Just going to cut these. I'll have to go back to get my computer out so you can, you know, I can lower the camera so you can see. There we go. We've got yes, just say yes. Why are you always saying no to things? You know, you need to start saying yes more. Yes to fun, yes to pleasure, yes to maybe doing things that you don't normally do, because this is about change, and this is about, it's like spring cleaning, change. Try and say yes to something. I don't mean bad. I mean, try and say something yes to something you wouldn't normally do, like an activity, a sport activity, an art activity, going somewhere you wouldn't normally go because you're thinking you might not enjoy it, but you might do. Maybe there's a party coming up and you really didn't want to go. Why don't you just say yes and see what happens? You might have a lot of fun. My stomach is rumbling. Oh my God. Not had much today. Say yes. Why be a no person all the time? One thing, say yes to. One thing you may be thinking, oh, I didn't really want to go to that because maybe this will happen. Maybe it won't. Stop resisting. Now we're going to do The Universe Has Your Back. Let's see what the universe wants to tell us. The universe is speaking to you all the time, in communion with you all the time. Oh, there we go. It says, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Now, as I was saying before, there's lower energies and feelings, and it's about alchemy of getting them into balance. But it doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel these things. Feeling is different to doing. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. If something's triggering you and it's making you feel a certain way, you're allowed to feel that. But this is where I said you've got to reflect and look at why you're feeling that. Reflect on it. Why is that thing, that person, that what you've seen, why is it triggering you? You don't have to go into action and start screaming and shouting about it. It's not about that. It's about, yes, you can feel upset about it. You can cry. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can feel sad. But look at what that feeling is. You know, there's something below the triggers. Something's triggered you, but there's something below that within you has made you feel that way because there's something below it, underneath, bubbling up. There's something within you that needs to be looked at. And there's nothing wrong with that. Then you'll work out what you need to do to get above that trigger and to turn that feeling around into a positive feeling to help you get out of that, of why that's, you know, like I said, it's all learning. We're all on our personal journeys and experiences, and it's all personal progression, evolving. It's personal development. That's what it is. It's not, you're not trying to develop your personal self through somebody else, looking at somebody else do, like, it's through your own things. Sticking your nose in someone else's business is not going to help you. It's just going to make you feel worse. Now we're going to do the Light Seas Tarot. I'm going to do 3. I love the Light Seas Tarot as one. I really, really, really resonate. The artwork and everything just feels beautiful. Oh, and they've come out. We've got the 6 of Cups. We've got the 7 of Cups, and we've got Temperance, which is funny because cups are to do with water, which is to do with emotion. Like I said, I know the basics. Six of Cups, are we missing somebody? Is something coming in? Is a friend coming back in? You know, because this is a child with a dog, and the guy who's older with the dog is like, oh, you know, a friend that's been with you all the time, you know. I'm getting the feeling of, is there a friend that you've been missing, a friend that you've been, you know, lifelong friends? Maybe stuff that's been going on in the world with what's been going on with certain things that have been going on have split you up, and maybe you want to take the action to get back together and start talking about good things instead of that stuff that may have divided you. That's the energy that I'm getting with this card, because I do it intuitively as well, of getting back together and having some good times and chats and stuff. Because funnily enough, someone got in contact who's moving back to the area that I knew years ago, and they got back in contact to meet up and, you know, stuff, and he was like, oh, he was really fun, you know, he was really like out there and this, that and the other. So if anyone's feeling that, just put a message out and see what happens. The choices that we're making, number 7, see the choices in the cups. You know, are you going to go with the emotion of anger? Are you going to choose that one? There's many choices in life that you can take, and it's you that takes it that will lead you on the path to darkness or light. It's the choices that you make. This is why I say you're not pointing fingers at other people, blaming other people. It's the choices that you make in your life that will turn your life to a different direction. You could get to the next choice and think, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Tingles in the fingers. Because it's all through your choices how your life will go. It's through your choices. Simple. You make a bad choice, next time make a good choice then. And then we've got Temperance. This is what I said about timing, divine timing. You've got the moon and the sun, so like I said, you've got the dark and the light. You're balancing all that up. You're observing, but the Temperance, like waiting, divine timing, this is what I see it as myself, is like I said, we don't know the timing of things. We like to put the timing of things, like, oh, I think it's going to happen here. It never works out like that, you know. Even manifestations and all sorts of things in the material, they are coming in. I know patience is a virtue. I know it's hard sometimes to think, oh my God, it's forever. But things I've seen coming in, even we talked about a few years ago, felt like it forever. And it's not. Things to me are speeding up very fast. I miss days sometimes where I think, like last week, I thought Thursday was Wednesday. I was like, it's not Thursday. They were like, I missed a whole day. I'm like, oh my God. Years ago, it used to be slower. Today, it's so fast. So, divine timing is in. Just work on yourself while this stuff is coming in. It's being seen more and more. A lot of people don't have patience. Patience is a virtue. So, just know it is. Things are coming in for you as well, but it'll mostly happen when you're not thinking about it. If you're constantly looking for it, it'll seem like forever. That means, like, you know, if you're at work or wherever, maybe you're not having a good day and you want the day to go faster. If you're constantly clock watching, a second will feel like a year. When I'm at work, I don't look at the clock. I go off when people leave and that, and then I'm surprised because I'm like, is it really that time? Oh my God, it's further on than I thought it was. I don't clock watch because that's like watching paint dry. I do want to do another one actually, so I'll do one more message from the fairies, the oracle fairies. So cute little cards. Let's see what we get. This is the back. And then I'm going to go and get something to eat. No, I'm not. I'm going to do sound bowl, sorry, before I go. I said to my fella, I've got to go on YouTube and have a chat because it's like my way of releasing energy. So this one's come out, protect your dreams. Well, it's funny, I was talking about astral dreaming before. You know, you can get things that try to come in and attack. Like I said, when I started doing Reiki, I got attacks there, and I know it was because I was lifting my vibration and working on stuff and looking at stuff they didn't want me to look at, in a sense, but I blasted them out. It's like I'm doing this anyway, just like I'm doing my channel, I'm doing my stuff anyway, no matter what anyone says, I'm doing it. And it's really funny because I had a dream the other night and I can't remember what it was about. And it was funny because it was a dream about lies and people lying. And I can't remember what the thing was in it, but it was being seen. And to do with me as well, where then people are getting seen. And it didn't really matter because That's why I'm letting it lie, because it doesn't, in the big scheme of things. I'm just hoping the dream will come back to me. I should have wrote it down, because I was like, what was that? And it was weird, and I was like, ah, that's good. That's good. Protect your dreams. You are the guardian of your precious dreams, and they are safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. And it's got this picture on. But this isn't about like necessarily dreaming when you go to sleep. This is your dreams that you want to put out to the universe, your goals, your projects, things like that. Keep them close to your heart, because what I've noticed is when you say things, and I know this anyway, and you try and share and you put things out, people try to sabotage it. And if they know what they think you want, they will try to go against a certain energy, I believe, to sort of bring that down. But the only thing is, some people don't know is I protect against that anyway, so it doesn't work. But if you don't know that and you're not protecting certain things, that's how it comes in. That's why I'm not speaking about certain things I'm doing now and what's coming up. I'm just going to put it out properly when it happens. There might be snippets shown, but it's not going to come out till it's up and ready. And then it's already out in the universe, and it's already out, and nothing can be said or done of people projecting their hate and saying, oh, this was my idea or that, because it won't be put out there until it's ready. And then it's there. Because, you know, I see a lot of how this works more and more now. That's another thing I've learned. And yeah, I've not in the got to try and get out the, not out the Piscean way, but of like wondering why people do what they do, and not working people out. I don't want to work people out, because I understand how people work, of why they do the things they do, but not looking to think, oh my God, have they changed? Wouldn't it be beautiful if they've concentrated more on themselves? That goes on here, out there and everywhere. I don't need to do that, you know, anymore of that. Because I guess it both works on the same levels of, you know, people trying to stick the beak in. Same sort of thing. And it's like, my journey isn't for, like I said, my journey is for me. And whatever's helping me, I will do. And I will speak about on here to see if it helps others, even if it's a handful of people. Which a few of you do say. So that's good. And that's good enough for me. So that means I'm giving back, you know, giving back to people. And then you can give back to people. So I'm going to go, because I've been on for quite a while. I'm getting tired now. I need to go and get some to eat and chill out for work tomorrow. And this room is changing again. I just don't know how many times you can change a room. It's amazing, really. I'm telling you, I have such a small room, put in so many different ways. But like I said, change is here. Change is inevitable. If you're not adapting to it, you're gonna find it very hard. It doesn't mean you're not gonna move. And you're not going to change. It just means it's going to be slower and harder, maybe more painful, because you're trying to stick with the old, and that is not where we're at right now, with everything coming in, everything changing. Yeah, happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Indigo. Yeah, and I did say at the beginning, happy Mother's Day to all mothers here and past and wherever or to be, and Gaia. Thank you, Michelle, for coming in. Thank you, David's Calf. I know David's Calf's got a channel, so you can check David's Calf's channel out. Remember to check everybody, because they might have a channel. Indigo Heart, Junior, Berwick. I might say people's names wrong. Who else was in? I'm going to scroll up a little bit. My Turn. People may be watching in the background as well. Sue. Rachel. Matthew. Ricardo, who has gone. Kiki, was it? I think someone else came in as well, I can't remember. Karen. I'm not going to go all the way up. To Unearth. Robert. Cheap Seats, new person as well with Kiki, I think it was. Kiki. National Memorial Gardens. Cassandra. And anyone who might, Renee, anyone who might be at the top, I don't know, because I'm going to go back down. Eco, I'll just call you Eco. And anyone else who may be watching in the background, because I know people do. Dark or light. and anyone that may be watching after. I hope it made sense. I'll probably pick up some of the pieces that I may think after, oh, I didn't say that, I didn't explain that well enough, because it's going to be coming in the chats anyway. Like I said, it's not because I'm a dead expert on some things, it's just because things that I see and that I'm into, I understand. I don't need to understand the ins and outs of everything, I just understand it, and it works for me. So I'm going to be sharing more of that. So before I go, I'm going to do some heart chakra to open your heart a bit more. And just think about what you're going to let go, why I'm doing this, and really feel into the frequency and the sound. I'm going to take that ring off. So if you want to get yourself in a position, or just relaxed position if you sat or whatever, or walking, listening, or whatever you're doing, and just listen. That's all you need to do. If I start speaking, light language may come in. If it does, it does. It's fine. Just listen to that as well. So we're going to do a bit of this first. So breathe through your nose, deeply from your tummy. Now, if you ever feel anxiety, do that as well. A couple of times. I don't know what's going on with this top anyway. And if any of you would like to purchase any of my oils soon, I will be making some more soon, but they're not in process at the minute. Oh, and I'll be doing something with one of these bottles soon that I've had for a while, and I'll let you know on another video what I'm going to do with this, because you may want to do it too. And that is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go and enjoy myself now, and I don't know, draw, watch something, chill out, whatever it takes my fancy that I need to go do. Jewellery will be going up soon as well, because I've got some of these left. If anyone's interested, I do post anywhere. I do ship anywhere. But these are the Moth Crescent Moon Moonstone earrings. You can always message me on here if you need to know where to go. For now, anyway. And I will see you next time I see you next week at some point, sometime. I will try and let you know beforehand so you know when to come in. But enjoy the rest of your Sunday, solar day, joy day, because that's what the sun's all about. Tuning into you, you know, focusing on you, doing what you need to do on a lovely, I'm just going to take this rose out because it was a bit bent, yellow, sunshiny day, representing joy. Yellow is. Go and find your joy. Stay in the light, shine your light, and I will see you soon. Bye.